Hello, everyone, and welcome to NPR. This is your host, Ira Glass, and today we're talking about a little game, a game we like to play, a game we quest, a game we know. We're playing Who's That Voice? So, with me today, I have two people who are known in the Illuminary as great questers. The first one is a man who showed us a lot of Facebook pictures and was kind of weird.
What do you mean kinda weird? Kinda weird.
It was certainly unsolicited.
What?
Unsolicited Facebook.
How rude.
And also joining me is somebody who believes in legislation and a strong moral code.
Someone
and
guessed?
hair.
I mean,
I guessed right.
I guess.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I'm
mean,
doing my
you know.
best here. I didn't have a lot of time to do this bit. Okay, I was organizing my cards. I was trying to see where maybe I go. And I wasn't ready. And honestly, I can do a much better Ira Glass. So please, everybody, don't hold me accountable to that. That was stressful.
All right.
Well,
they
we
can
didn't.
see us now.
Just
Where's
a.
the-
Yep.
Right now.
And we
Where's
guessed it. Woo! You were correct.
Welcome to the ICL on a Wednesday. I do believe that's how JDZ says it.
I see yell on a Wednesday,
Oh, it's like a jingle now. I like that.
praying out
That's
bed
nice.
in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
ETB
Nice.
versus Freedom Gaming.
Which,
Who you got?
speaking of which,
Which
we
one?
got,
What?
I mean, we should really talk about that news that we got last week that Freedom Gaming had a saboteur. The son left the father, and
Oh,
so
well,
that's
that guy-
crazy. And then now, I mean, we can't talk about the rest of it.
I was like,
There's
yeah, I
more
got, like,
intriguing things since then. But
A little
wow,
spicier.
Florida, you're crazy. What are you up to down there? My goodness, what's in the water?
Have you not
Color,
seen the
tell us.
news? I
Yeah.
was like, have you not seen the news? Like the Florida man is real. And usually
Yeah.
you just basically you see the news, you read it, and it's like Florida man does thing, and you're like, yeah, okay, sure. Absolutely. Makes sense.
Yeah, Florida,
Florida man slaps
all.
nephew with a fish, who's also running down a highway backwards, and you're like, is that it? That's all you got?
Florida
Huh.
man, come
Must
on.
be Wednesday.
Wednesday. And it is. It's Wednesday in the ICL. And my goodness. I mean, Luke, so I was catching up today, and it turns out, like, for those of you guys that, lots of us are not under the hood of the ICL. We're up here, we're on top of the car posing, or like just watching it drive by. But if you lift
You
up
guys
the
have
hood,
a car?
yeah, it's a company car. Not good. It's a jalopy. It's kind of, but if you lift it up,
The
there's
Geo Metro.
40,000 matches going on at any given point. And so Luke, for people at home, like, explain a little bit. I'm sure you talked about at the beginning of the series, but like for people tuning in, like, how much is going on in any given week in the ICL?
I like this. This is Katie saying, I don't know what's happening, but
I
I'm
did
gonna
learn.
disguise it very
And I don't
well.
know if people can give credit. Like, it used to be like a lot was going on, and now it's like infinite
most.
going on.
Yeah. Like the waiting
Well-
room is ridiculous.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
looked and I was like, ha! It was scary. I screamed.
Yeah, so we have the feature match, which today is ETB versus Freedom Gaming. And then we're going to have 3 other matches going on in the background. We have Never Shift versus Maelstrom. The formerly known as Southside Gaming, to be determined, versus Sunflower Illumineers. And then Flower Farm versus Lorcana Loungers. And so, like, every week we're going to have a lot going on. So we wanted to give the players a little more this season. So instead of having it be you play like once a month, you're playing every week. So it's a lot more games per mileage. We'll get a lot more stats, have a lot more of a breakdown of decks, and hopefully get a metagame. And since we're using ink decks for our list this time, you can do exclamation point ICL decks now actually connects to that, which has the first week's decks up, but I have not put up this week's yet. And hopefully after a few more of those get put up, they'll have their metagame share thing that gives you the cool, pretty little table, and we'll get to see what the ICL meta's been.
Yeah,
I
and
love
it's
it.
interesting, right? Because I always debate, like, with the ICL, it is usually pretty public. And we have a little tournament coming up called DLC Milwaukee. You heard of it? So I'm always kind of interested to see, like, is this ICL, or do people view the ICL as like a testing ground? Are people like bringing like the number? When is it that people bring the deck that's the deck? Because we've had a lot of tournaments building up to
Well-
Milwaukee. And so I'm always very curious of, like, when is the hot
There
sauce
I
coming
mean,
out?
what is it? Round
is
2 has
4
been
players.
Ruby Emerald. So
There are 4 players whose lists are not being publicly shown after this week.
Sneaky.
like they have
Because they
personally
asked
requested.
me,
Okay.
They have requested me not to release their list until
Makes
after
sense, though.
Milwaukee.
How about you release the names of the people that don't want to release?
Well, I
their
think
lists?
we can do some
Nope.
Detective Mickey work here.
You can do some Detective Mickey work and try to see whose lists aren't on there if you look back
I'm a
later.
really bad detective.
I know my
I go off
ADHD
of
took
like,
the detective
yeah, I was
skills.
gonna say, like, I just go off of like gut feelings and conjuncture, and that just seems like a really bad detective. So, mine are.
But I like this because it's showing that they want to test against these other
Yes, it's a
amazing
good sign.
players, and they're willing to play that, but they don't necessarily want to let everyone know, so they can't.
You
No
can't
one
have
wants
the
to sit down at
goo.
the DLC and have your opponent Google your name and find out your list card for card. That's sometimes
That
an issue. You at least have to pay the
happens,
$20 for the Metafy.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely, if you can see it. I mean, I guess if you really, really care, you can go full Detective Mickey, watch the match back, basically deep, like, backwards engineer the deck and what cards you see, and basically kind of go from there. But I don't know. I think it depends on the player too, like which players are withholding their information.
Yeah,
And
I
do
mean,
they
some people-
win?
And do they?
Some people-
Well, I'm assuming they think they win at least.
Yeah.
Or like,
Not me.
I would say that they win. They tend to.
Well, if you're
And
looking for my
speaking-
list, they all have colors, or they all have color. They all have Circle of Life
Circle
in
of
them.
Life,
So yeah, yeah, every one of them.
I like
Even if
it.
it shouldn't be in there.
And
That's a
speaking
card
of
where I
teams that
hear-
can win,
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about two teams. Okay, actually, I have a lot of bad beats about this team, and this is Katie's bad beats corner. These players are good, dude. I don't play a lot of Lorcana because they put me in little rooms. When I come to an event, they put me in a corner or a room. That's traditionally where I sit. But I played against some of these. I entered the battlefield 3 times against my will, and every time
Where was
it was in Detroit Glass City. Luke was in the little closet this time. They put
I was in the closet.
Either way, they
We
put you in the little.
we traded roles.
Yeah, they put Luke in the little room, and I was out there where ETB was wielding their decks wildly, and it was scary. It was horrifying. But I had the honor and privilege of fighting. I didn't fight a VP. I played a VP.
Bring
And-
it, ETB. Bring it.
And it was great. It was kind of scary though, right? Because I cast these games and I look up to them like, this is a great player. And I'm sitting there like, this is a great player, and it's not as funny anymore. So BB was playing a Emerald Amber Sea Dogs, I guess is what kids are calling it these days.
Sea dogs.
But top 64 DLC Texas, top 32 DLC Toronto, top 16 at Glass City 8K, and top 8 at PPG 10K. We can go all day. We have top 8 Glass City and GTA 5K. We got season 1 ICL. Oh yeah, season 1 ICL champion. So like, there's a lot of feathers in this man's cap, but he's also very nice. And by the way, his hat is the 6, which is the city they're from, Toronto. They call it the 6.
Why?
Oh,
I don't know. Oh, I think maybe it's like the 6th city ever in Canada or something.
Okay.
That's what they found.
Well, it's like, okay, I mean, sure, all right. Yeah.
the Canadians
not
can
definitely-
educate us.
Yeah. I was
no.
gonna say why, like, I want to know, but at the same time, yeah.
Another one, another man. This one.
Oh yes,
took my
Chris.
happiness.
Yes. Well, yeah.
But
Took
talk about
your
Chris. He's great.
happiness?
Also, they're all great.
Took
They're all
your
great.
I know, yeah,
They made me
Chris.
feel sad, and that's
Oh.
okay.
Actually,
You didn't
so
lose to all of them.
No,
well, yeah, there you go. But
I
yeah, we
survived some battles.
surviving is absolutely part of the battle. Half the battle is surviving the battle, and once you enter the battlefield, you have Chris here, and he's ICL season 1 champ. I guess we're gonna have to read that on every one of their player cards, but it is a big point of pride. So awesome. GC, there, I hate acronyms. GCG, that one's a fun one. Sunday top 8 split. GTA Lorcana League season 2 top 4. GTA Lorcana League season 3 top 8, and ETB Oakville 3K with a top 8 split. I mean, these players are like what Katie was saying. Like, they're all good. But my favorite fun fact about this player is I met them in Texas, and they were wearing that hoodie, and I was like, "Listen, what band is that?" And they were like, "It's not a band, it's our actual shirt for our team." And I was like, "What do I have to do to get one of those? Oh my god!" So they sent me a package, and I was super excited. And when I got it, it said "Color is Law," but with a U. So I'm officially part Canadian now because I have my Canadian U in the name Color.
Color.
So yeah,
Color
it's like
is
it's
Law.
very fancy, and I like it. And actually, that ended up happening too because Habibi bet me that they would win, and I said nah, and they did. So I had to be Canadian for a day.
Don't ever bet against these battlefield boys. The battle boys. The battle boys.
I
The
know.
Boys.
Somebody in Oklahoma, I was wearing this shirt and traveling to another tournament, and someone said that would make a great tattoo, and I agree. So, yeah, BB, if you guys
Oklahoma. Wow.
enter the battlefield tattoo, win.
There you go.
Oh,
This guy.
the Quickster.
Listen about this guy is the nicest man that will destroy you with the most sinister cards I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
Tell us about this Joseph Quickster.
The Quickinator.
That's your turn, Luke. We're popcorning. You can't just not talk about Quigley when it's your turn.
He just said the name in a really weird tone, and went
That's
for
it. He's the Quickinator.
That's
having
it.
a
That's all
flashback
you
right
need
now.
to know. Yeah. He's
ICL
like, "Can I take
Season
Amber
1
cards?"
champs. Top 16 North American Continentals. Top 32 DLC Chicago. And a top 32 at PPG Texas 10K. Very nice man. Very well known for playing rude emerald cards, I think.
Yeah, that's like a really good... Because it was like sets back. He was like Amber and Emerald when that like Muses bounce stuff was going on. And now he's like, oh, I'm just going to do Sea Dogs. And he's like, what if Emerald Sapphire Pain is what I like to call it. So... yeah, and then today, I think even we were all talking about new spoilers and this and the other thing, and I was like, oh, well, in Infinity, you could do XYZ, and he's like, I forgot about that. And it was probably the meanest thing I've seen yet.
But he's going to do it in a way where you're like, he's quite nice. Like, he's going to do something sinister with those cards, but in a way where you're like, honestly, I love that for you. And not in like a sarcastic way, in a very sincere way where if Joseph Quigley's happy, I'm happy. And so those are the battle boys. And my goodness, if you enter the battlefield, bring a first aid kit. And first aid kit they shall, because we've got Freedom Gaming. This is a very fun matchup, right? We've got Freedom Gaming versus sorry about that. We're about to enter the battlefield, so sorry if I hurt you there. And we have
JDZ can introduce this one.
JDZ.
You're here.
Listen, you've entered the battlefield. Warning, enter the battlefield. Warning.
Yeah, we got it. Yo, you made it. You're doing great.
That was so rude. That was so rude.
A mad producer. He produces like a man on a mission.
You were doing anything else, and you shouldn't have. Lock it in. You're here. You've been here the whole time.
Really? Have I really? No.
No. You just came in.
You just entered the battlefield very recently.
Okay, because I'm over here. Come on, Luke. Give me something, man. You guys are better than that.
A chaos gremlin.
You caught me in the rare case. I think that's the first time on camera I was locked out, dude. You got me.
First time ever locked out. Wow.
That's the first time ever live
business.
on Wonder Twitch. You caught me locked out, man. Because I was like, okay, they're killing the pregame show. I'll just sit here and just marinate for a little while, wait for my turn.
Yeah.
You made a noise. Just know you're coming in the next transition. Like that's just what happens.
Dang, dude, my bad. I'm sorry. Well, please carry on. I'll get back to
No,
my.
it was great. No,
I'll get back to my juice rush over
card.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, but we got Cisu, Freedom Gaming in the building, holding it down, doing his thing. I love some Freedom Gaming. I love the entire South Florida syndicate of Illumineers. I know there's a huge story going around the community right now. I don't want to take too much time talking about that. We're going to focus on what's happening here tonight as Canada comes to America. Freedom Gaming versus ETB. And I love me some Cisu. Too bad there is no Cisu, no Diablo. What's he going to do? What's he playing this set? I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Let's see what Cisu's going to do.
Yeah, he loves discard too. This man loved his Emerald Steel discard. Cisu not playing Cisu, insane business. But apparently that his name is Cisu has nothing to do with the Dragon Cisu. It's just a Cisu from a different. He told me it's some kind of Scandinavian perchance.
It is a I think it's a Finnish film or Swedish film. It's a film,
right?
Cisu. Yeah, I think it's Finnish.
Yeah,
it's about the World War II, Finnish versus Russia.
Insane. That's an insane nickname. Then I just love the war films in Scandinavia.
It means like never give up, I think, or something.
I like it.
It's pretty lit. It's a pretty lit story. He told it way better than we did. We butchered the story, Katie.
It's great. We got it. He loves it. I'm sure he's in the chat going, "You guys got it right. You did it. Thanks, guys."
Cisu, no relation. All right, I like that.
We're popcorning. Who do we got next? Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I bet it is Mike Singer. Is it Mike Singer? Can I get a Mike Singer in the chat?
Oh,
no.
Nope.
But it's better than that. It's Joey Adeveggio.
Oh, you went for it.
Is that right? Adeveggio? I hope so.
Oh, I don't know.
I'd say Joey-O.
Joey
Automatic.
We owe Joey.
Yeah, Joey Automatic. Yeah.
Yeah, Joey Automatic is a top 4 at Miami TCG Con, finalist at the SSG 8 case, and then top 16 at SSG Infinity Invitational. And This is a tough one today, guys. But I am very excited to see what he brings today. Freedom Gaming. There's a team that they showed up and showed out quite much in season 1, right? Like, I mean, they were till like the end, I believe, not till very, very end, but quarters maybe. So they're kind of one of those teams that I'm like, whatever they're doing is probably the good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, at this point, both teams are undefeated in the ICL. Week
That's
1.
So great.
I mean, he's like, you know what? Yeah, so they're doing great. And it's awesome because now we're in week 2, so they're playing, and we're going to see who gets to play in the next week. And that's how tournaments work.
That's how tournaments work. Folks, you hear it
that
first.
John
We got the
Madden
journalism
action.
here. And lastly, are we gonna get my favorite Ted Lasso looking guy? Maybe. Maybe not. We're gonna see. It could be anyone.
Surprise. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, who's playing? And like, we find out with you guys.
He's trying to see. He's like, Freedom Gaming. Tell me right now, Freedom Gaming. It's someone I wouldn't have never guessed.
Oh, it's Michael Maloof.
Yeah.
Michael Maloof, color. Tell us about Michael Maloof.
Well, this is Michael Maloof. He is from Freedom Gaming, DLC Las Vegas. He has a Let It Go.
Nice.
Yeah. Jealous. CCS Atlanta, top 8, day 2, SSG, 10K, second place. Okay, these are really good placements, and he has a Let It Go. So this is awesome. And Michael Maloof didn't.
That's a fun name. That's a
I was
good
like,
name.
Why did we have somebody playing last week? Did he play last week too?
But is
Are you running
Michael
him through again? Yeah, I was about to say, are we running him through again?
Well, not on.
No. That was Hayes. I believe Hayes is also a Maloof.
Oh, so
I believe this is his.
Yeah,
He's Mike
dad,
Senior.
right?
Oh, so
I
this
wanna
is
say-
He
okay.
stand himself from the shackles of being Mike Senior. He should be his own Michael.
Absolutely. Yes,
mean,
full name. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to say
Yeah,
and be
mini
wrong.
Michael.
But here we go.
Yeah,
is
and I
Michael
love the outfit though. It's a 10 out of 10 outfit. I mean, this is classy. It's elegant. It's a vest. I know Luke is a nice vest user as well. So I like to see more vests coming in to the Lorcana
I got
space.
everyone to start using coat jackets, and then I just start using a vest and like don't even say anything about it.
You blazers, perhaps, but I like coat jackets. We all have our
Yeah,
own coat
jackets.
jackets. My parka that I bring when I cast.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so this is two teams that are they're not new to it, they're true to it. They're teams that show up and show out, and kind of, if you kind of want your finger on the pulse of what people might be bringing to Milwaukee, I imagine some of these people are going to have some decks. I mean, we learned 50% of these decks are secret, okay? Use your peepers and take a mental picture, because you're not getting the deck list after tonight. So not on this match, I guess. Some of them might be from the other matches, because I forgot there's 40,000 people playing tonight. But
Yes, approximately 40.
yeah, approximately
There
40,000.
is.
So we will go around. Is that boxed water?
Oh no, this is a Joy Burst, not sponsored by the ICL, but it is boxed water, yes, but it's flavored
How
boxed water.
fun is that? I
No,
like
what
that.
flavor? Is it like one of the flavored
Peach.
waters? They're like, oh, so they had a peach in the other room while they poured the water in there, and they're
It's got a bit more flavor. It's not like a La Croix or maybe
okay.
even a Spindrift. It's got a bit
Yeah.
more flavor than those.
okay, yeah,
Oh,
like they
wow.
thought about a peach when they
Yes.
bottled it.
As Katie was
Sure.
saying, it is that everyone's favorite time of the night, as even chat is saying, ETB gonna destroy. So that's one chat vote for ETB. I'm gonna have to, just call! I mean, it's Freedom Gaming. Come on! I'm just killing JD's ears here. Sorry.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Fair enough.
We're gonna go for a 2-1 though. I don't think it's gonna be the 3-0, but it is Canada versus Florida. Not all the United States, but Florida in particular.
Oh, okay.
I like all these players though, so it is becoming difficult to predict who's going to win these. Mostly because they're all insane players that I'm friends with, so that is frustrating. But ETB doesn't want me to root for them because I rooted against them all last season and they won. So I guess this is better for both teams.
So it's gonna go downhill maybe perhaps from ET or Freedom Gaming from here, because a lot of the people in this little panel have some merch, and I might say, whose merch is it? Freedom Gaming or is it ETB? It's ETB. Oops, it's backwards for you.
Oh,
there.
I
No,
should
it's
be-
forward. I was upside down, so I was
somewhere.
afraid it looked like Canada's in distress. Canada's not in distress, okay? They're blessed, and I like ETB. I am currently 1-2 against them, so they beat me, so maybe they'll beat Freedom Gaming. If you can beat me, you can beat anyone. So I think that ETB is gonna take this into 2-1, just like they did for me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
You agree? I like that. I agree with
I
what you
agree.
said.
I concur.
agree.
I concur.
Claire, what
I
do you
concur.
think?
So I'm gonna do with my traditional weekly thing where I look at the two teams and I say, let's see, who else is here?
No, I don't like this.
I think Bannibal's gonna win tonight. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Bannibal.
We can't start.
All right, so Maelstrom is playing tonight. So Color's predicting that
true.
Maelstrom will win tonight.
That's true.
In that match. But what about this match, Ashley? What do you think about this one?
You got Ashley.
So okay,
you got government names.
Actually, sit up and
say. I know, jeez. Take it down a notch. All right, fine. So before this match, I tweeted out that Habibi needed to be nice to me in chat. So in an act of faith, I will be nice to Habibi and say that I think ETB is going to take it, but Habibi's going to lose. All right.
Dang, Habibi's going down.
2-1 ETB, but Habibi's the one.
That's insane. I like that. That's a very specific agreement.
That's crazy.
They're going to win. They'll win.
Listen. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I am, America through and through. I love some freedom. I love freedom gaming. I love Florida. I love everything they're doing over there. Okay, ETB, they're the champions. They're on top. So of course I'm picking ETB to win this thing.
No.
And guess what, Luke? I've been right every episode so far. I have got all of my predictions correct every single time. Exactly correct. And I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. I think ETB takes it 3-0 tonight. We're gonna get our first 3-0 of the season. ETB gets it done in 3. Lock it in.
Actually,
take it to the bank.
It is not the first 3-0 on season.
Last night. Oh wait a minute! What the hell?
ETB is just giving out play mats and things all over.
I know.
No, we had a 3-0 last night. We did have a 3-0.
Yeah, we did. I was like, last night was a 3-0.
It was.
You guys are flying it. Wow, that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
It's really easy. Honestly, it's so easy, guys.
I know, right?
It's it. If you can,
I like this. Is my favorite team.
You could just buy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was wearing my ETB shirt earlier this week, so it's in the laundry. But all right, fine.
All right. Well, as much fun as this is, we're 10 minutes over already.
Oh, sorry.
So JDZ and I, we're gonna be back in round 2, but we're gonna cut here to just Color and Katie. Boom. See you in a little bit. The amazing Color is Law and Katie, the lore keeper's in.
All right, we made it. Oh, double Haze. Oh, I did that last night.
Right off the top here. Wow. Did he make it playmat? Did they make their own champion playmat? Because we did not give them that, folks. Hard hitting news. We did not send us this playmat. So
Champions Season 1. No, I'm pretty sure they made it themselves. Because where did this come from?
That is so beautiful.
Does it say ICL on it too? Oh, I mean, I guess it does have it. Oh, they did their own thing. Okay, so we are going to play. Oh dear, is this going to be a mirror match?
Oh, he got the dogs.
Oh, no, wait, no. He does. Got it. So there's an ICL logo under the deck, and we do see a Rafiki versus Our Lady starting out here. Habibi on Sea Dogs, and I'm going to go ahead and say Blurple. That's my guess.
If you're not blurping, what are you doing? And the answer is, what are you doing? I'm playing the dogs. And so the dogs is interesting. We used to say Trinadogs, and it's very hard to stop saying Trinidog. But it's an evolving list. It's a list that we now are calling Sea Dogs or Chroma Dogs, and those are kind of hints of what they pair it with. But we just saw Prince Philip. Have you seen dogs with Prince Philip before?
Yeah, the warded Prince Philip, because he is aggravating is all get out. You cannot get rid of him. He has ward, and then when he does turn sideways, it's 3-2. So I just want to fire the cannons, that little guy, and you can't. And so this is Amethyst Steel. I made a joke earlier, but I think, if anything, Habibi will be fine.
Well, I mean, Steel is not a wonderful pairing. I find that.
I know. That was actually we were talking beforehand, and he was like, "It's so long as I don't get O2'd by Purple Steel, but I'll see you after that in the player interview." And I was like, "Yeah, we're good. This is Blurple. It's Amethyst Steel." So
among some of the angriest cards you'll find in the meta are in Amethyst Steel. They are all so mad, and for what? And mad they are. We have Rafiki who can swing for 3, Calhoun who can swing for another 3, and right over there you have 3 characters sitting very upright. Yep. And I am terrified.
Now, Ursula coming down onto is actually really, really good, because then we can go ahead and grab that Strength of Raging Fire, because in this meta, we are greedy and we always keep it. It is in our hand because it's what it's going to win us the game. So if you're playing against Emerald, you got to make them have it, and Habibi had it. Ursula Deceiver coming down, taking your songs, taking a look at that hand, which we see Pete, Cobra, Elsa. That's a pretty good hand against dogs.
Yeah, and I've definitely heard some advice as far as if you have Strength of Raging Fire and you're against an Emerald deck, you might want to send it back because they're going to take it. And then if you get it again in your altering phase, then at that point, then you want to be very protective of it, because if you ink it, you've basically said, hey, you don't need to play Ursula. Don't worry about it. So it's a very delicate game at this point. So he said, listen, I got the strength. Maybe I'll get to keep it, because Ursula is not the strongest play in Emerald and Amber. It is not. If it doesn't hit a song, she's just a 1/3 and does nothing forever after that, except for maybe be used with a tramp later.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see a Cobra Giant as it is come down, but not discarded. We're going to keep that card in our hand. We're not going to gain the 2 lore, but we are going to we're gonna stare at each other, I think. And this is kind of that situation between Dogs and Amethyst Steel, is where we're gonna build our boards at one another. And I swear, as soon as I draw another strength, you're gonna be sorry. But by that time, we're probably gonna see some tramps and things happening. So we're just gonna kind of improvise to draw a card, and that gets rid of that Cobra. I like it.
It is very, very fun. I mean, that Cobra, he's a 4/4, but for any other purposes, he's just a magical bubble that pops. And so it is very satisfying as a player to use something cheap like that to say, I'm going to draw a card and get out of here, please.
Yeah, your entire turn 3 is now banished by this inconsequential thing. And by the way, I'll draw a card. So it's like Dragon Fire, but I draw a card.
Yeah, and we see something very powerful here. It's the just... Listen, I know that you have to deal with my board one by one. So what if I go as infinitely wide as possible? And he's doing a great job by cleaning up that Cobra, cleaning up that strength. It's going to get to a point where he can start questing. Now, that being said, I don't know if we're at that point yet, because he still has a lot of little guys here. So it's definitely, the math is not fun. But it's one of those things that he can do in his favor, is just go as wide as possible until Joey cannot catch him no matter what. But it's going to take a little bit here. And Under the Sea is not as fun as an exit plan with things like Calhoun in play.
No, definitely not. And we did see a Bobby Zimmerowski come down, draw a card, and we're going to go ahead and discard that Pluto, good old dog boy. We learned the name last night and it immediately left me. But we are just going to build our board, because next time, if we have a tramp in hand, we can go ahead and get our tramp down for a reduced cost, draw some cards, and then discard, and keeping probably our best one, which would be Under the Sea, or I don't know, a card that says help me, everything on my opponent's board costs 3 or has 3 strength, except for
Rafiki. And we see Dolores come in, which is one of my more favorite cards in this meta, because it's such a interesting point that cards that aren't so good become a lot better when you lose all your great cards. The rotation has been very fun, because I mean, Dolores is one where generally you get value out of her, but Habibi said, not today. Okay, listen, you need to have a card sideways, and I will never turn a card sideways, ever.
Yeah, and again, like I said, unless we're singing Under the Sea, and at this point, you're going to sing an 8-cost song to get rid of one drop. So not looking really, really good, but at the same time, hopefully that Dolores notably can sing Strength of a Raging Fire, which is probably what we are digging for at this point. So this is kind of back to that situation. We're having a little Disney Lorcana standoff. And once I find a song on one side or the other, or once my board gets wide enough, maybe we can just start chaining tramps together. And now all of a sudden that 2/8 is really hard for you to strength. But we are going to play a no value go-go. So we have a 2/2 evasive come down with her ability that does not trigger. Well, because we're still on 2 ink.
She can quest, though. That's the good news, is like she can quest, because she's evasive, and right now there's no evasives. Now we know that they generally tech in some evasives, and here she comes.
That also that we knew about earlier. Yeah,
she said, I'm here, so you're not, you're good. But I don't think she's most afraid of Go-Go, and she starts eating away at these little dogs here.
Calhoun went ahead and took off the lady, because the lady is a 0/3, so that cleanly gets rid of that lady, which is, it could be a problem going down. You can either pump her up and she can quest for 3, or you can pump her up and she can just start doing really, really mean things. But here we see Lady Park Avenue shift down for 3 ink, which is all we need, and we'll go ahead and put that Pluto and that banished lady back into our hands. So we're gonna see those again, and that might be another reason why Habibi went ahead and discarded that Pluto at one point, just to be like, I've got the lady, we're gonna shift and get something back. So
rough decisions though here, because he's still in the same boat he was a few turns ago, where I am terrified to turn sideways, because it's just a lineup of some not necessarily the beefiest beaters in the game, but enough where in a deck like his, they could eat very well if any of these cards turn sideways. So it's definitely that calculation is still there. And that's kind of how these games against Amethyst Steel goes, is they just kind of look at you and go, I wouldn't do that if I were you, and keep doing that until it gets to the point where you miss the opportunity to get that lead that you need in these aggressive style decks.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to see this kind of like anguished decision of whether we are going to go ahead and turn this Miss Park Avenue sideways, because she has gotten her value. Now, are we going to let her get her value again by getting 2 lore, or we kind of want to get that now? Maybe you'll send that in. Maybe you lose your whole board. It's kind of this or that. But again, we already saw an Elsa come down. We do know that there is a Belle in hand. So you're going to turn her sideways, and we're just going to go for it. No, we're not going for it. We're not going for anything. We're just going to... everybody is confused as to what is happening. And is it under the sea? It is under the sea. Okay, so there was a little bit of a should I not? Here we go. We're going to turn this sideways. We're going to get rid of the Elsa because of that under the sea, and also the Rafiki. That takes 2 characters off the board. Getting rid of the Elsa is kind of nice. We kind of waited for that, but we did have to use Lady, and Ursula for that. So again, we're kind of just doing little weird dances back and forth. Just a little card dance,
Yeah, and it's difficult because we talk about what's the play clock here? And it does look like the lore and the ink are switched here between Habibi and Joey. But I mean, it's still something where, so you talk about how many turns? Well, many. So Habibi's getting closer to having an impressive start, but it's still one of those things. He's like, well, what point is turning my card sideways a really, really bad idea? And he's gotten to the point where it looks like he's like, I need to clean up, and he is going to do so
with
these 2 characters.
Calhoun. Oh, we're just gonna quest it. Forget it.
Oh,
He was
okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was are we gonna just I was like, well, because again, the Calhoun has resist 1, so the Bobby wouldn't really be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm sure we would have loved to be able to clean that up, but we did use the only beefy character to go ahead and sing that Under the Sea. And so now basically we sang the Under the Sea. We said, hey, listen, a lot of my characters are already sideways. If you're going to be challenging in, I need you to make some choices, because, we could hard play Strength of a Raging Fire, I suppose, but we aren't going to be able to play many characters to get that beefed up, or you're going to have to take your 3/3 and slam it into something. You can't really get at this Tamago. She's kind of flying high. So at this point, it's like, I'm going to turn sideways and you figure it out. Just figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it out, and I'm just going to start. And it's also one of those things about the card draw. Every deck is in a situation where mid to late game, you're fighting for every single card you get. As we saw, that Dolores is in there just because you're hoping to get some card draw. Lady is kind of creative card draw. And then here we go with a Belle coming in, and she's going to be able to move the damage onto the Go-Go, which is nice. Or rather, no, he challenged with the Dolores and then moved some damage here.
Yeah, so he challenged into the Daisy with the Dolores, which then put the 3 damage onto the Daisy, and then went in and basically came in, moved back, moved the damage from the Daisy to the Go-Go in the sky, and then challenged it with Calhoun to take care of the rest of that
the Go-Go
Daisy. Go in the sky. But then again, here we go. Here's the Bobby in hand, and here's the Pluto that we saw, and here's another lady for the funsies of it. And this is kind of the only way that we're really going to be able to kind of get back in the driver's seat with this deck, is just keep flooding, keep moving, and hopefully you're not drawing too many answers, because this is the point of the game where Amethyst Steel really wants to start drawing cards. But if you're flooding the board, you can't really take time off to draw cards. You gotta figure out what I'm doing first before you get to do your thing.
Yeah, and I mean, man, Habibi has gone really wide, and it's still something where the cards in Joey's deck are still more punishing in general. So automatic is still going to be able to put some pressure on, but Habibi's done a very good job making sure that he's still keeping cards and still keeping a pretty healthy board. And he's doing some challenging. He's saying, you know what, he's taking a much more aggressive role managing Joey's deck, which is interesting because you generally don't think Amber Steel is, you don't think of Amber Emerald as a control deck. But Habibi even tweeted, I think a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, saying Amber Emerald is a control deck. And here he is showing why he says that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know back in the day with like Aerial Muses, Amber Emerald has always felt like a control deck in that situation. But now we have new identities for everything.
Yes.
But now I think we're trying to decide, do we go ahead and like bop this Dolores and just 2-for-1 ourselves? Because it does have 2 lore on it. It doesn't really matter because that makes strength a little bit worse. It is a singer, but so is Belle. But that means you're going to have to play some more things. And it looks like Joey only has maybe like 1 card in hand. So if I throw my 2 guys into here, then I get rid of your Dolores. Your strength isn't as bad. Okay. That's fine. We 2-for-1 ourselves. It doesn't feel great. Your strength is poopy. And hopefully you don't have a Doc in hand. Or a Dumbo. Or a Genie. Or please just don't draw cards. But you're going to play a Pete, which is Pete Doc. Okay, fair. That's
a beautiful 1-2 here. Because, Doc says, you know what? I will have another turn. It's a really great way to say, I'm going to play characters and I'm going to have another turn. And also don't play Under the Sea again, which we don't think is going to happen. But at least this way, he's a 3-3, which as we've seen, a 3-3 is very problematic for Habibi's board.
Absolutely. Like the 3-3 has a lot of strength. Belle herself had being a 4-4 with 2 lore. But at this point, I'm like, I want my lore because, again, if Habibi doesn't have a way to start kind of drawing cards, soon the resources can run out. And that's, I guess, basically where we can get the difference between going too long in this matchup with Amethyst Steel is Amethyst Steel has 700 ways of drawing cards as we see Rhino, the 1/16th wolf, come down and target probably Under the Sea.
Wow.
Yep. All right. Okay, that actually works out really well. So we go ahead, we target the Pete with the 1/16th wolf.
And we don't do it. Pete says, remember that time you said you can't target me because I just happened? And then we go, yeah, I guess you're right.
And he's like, oh, is that a Pete? Yeah, well, that makes sense. I was like, you target the Pete that just came down. That's not dry. And then you cheat by trying to sing Under the Sea.
Not cheat. It's just, we all listen.
I know.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Habibi never.
Yeah, I was like, I said I was going to say at least one mean thing about Habibi. And so there it is. There you go. That was the height of it. That's the best I could do. But
and as Pete says, it's not cheating if you're making the rules, I believe, is Pete's moniker. And so he was like, remember, Under the Sea is not cheatable. It has an exception at the bottom, right? I think it says. But that's kind of a fun thing to telegraph here because you can't really take back that hamster, Rhino here, and that Ramster would be a very cool card.
Ramp hamster. Wow, we need that. But we are going to go ahead and throw down our other Belle that we found, taking the damage off of the Lady Park Avenue and throwing it over to our Elegant Spaniel and putting her straight up into the discard and going ahead and just questing out. Now, Pete effect is gone. It doesn't matter, but if we don't have another little baby Rhino to reduce that strength to be able to hit, it feels a little worse. That is a really, it's a bummer. It was a good play, though. I liked it. Baby Rhino Under the Sea.
And honestly, that's why Amethyst decks can be extremely punishing because you get to the point where you do the math in your head of this is what I need to do to win. This is the damage I need to deal. This is the cards that they have in hand. And then they're just going to keep drawing cards and then changing the math on you and saying, I keep having cards. I keep coming up with new problems. And so Habibi has done the math over and over again of, okay, this is all I need to do to turn the corner. And then we keep seeing Joey go, what corner? Can you please explain what corner you're referring to? Because I don't see a corner where I'm standing. But here's that card you mentioned. It is a Prince Philip who has ward and is a little beefier than the other characters that we see on the board. And so he might help a little bit, but still, Joey has been incrementally gaining value every turn. So it's still, the corner has not yet been turned.
Yeah, we are 10-2 here. Hopefully that's the correct lore total. So now we just go ahead and throw down a baby Diablo and a duck. And that says we're done. We're just going to scoop it up. The second dock is not my favorite. That's usually like either 2 strengths or 2 docks. And I'm like, man, I think I'm cooked. We're just going to go next and see what we can do the next time around.
Yeah. And that's what we talk about, like that. We talk about turning the corner in these games of like the time that you finally take a breath and say, okay, the worst if it's over. But as Joey saw, he's like, the worst is never over. The worst is every turn. And it was punishing because Habibi had answers. He stuck in there. He had that Under the Sea, which usually is not the best card in this matchup, but he was able to get some value out of it. He had a second one that he was like, listen, don't worry. I have a Rhino and Under the Sea. It's such a good combo. And he said, no combo. Not here. It's a non-bo.
Yeah, the Nambo combo. But yeah, the thing with the Pete is like I keep hearing people be like, "Is Pete good? Should I take it into the deck, out of the deck, in the deck, out of the deck?" I mean, how often do I really play it? And really, right here, you did see that it did actually do work, because if they were able to take the End of the Sea, do the Rhino, get everything kind of off the board except for the Bell, you really only have your Bell, and so it's not as scary. Again, the second dock is probably a pretty good indication that the match was about to swing pretty hard in a not fun way. But at the same time, Pete actually did some work in set 9. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, and I do. I mean, on my last set champs I went to, I had a Pete and a mirror match where I was playing Amber Steel against an opponent with Amber Steel, and Pete was extremely important because you get to the point where you're like, listen, we all hold on to, like you said, if you have a strength, it's the most important card in your deck. You're like, I need to save it. And so if you can say, listen, I know you're saving something, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's incredible valuable, and especially in these matchups, these characters aren't super strong. So having a 3/3 also is extremely important. So it's a problem in a lot of ways. And it's not as easy. I think it's hard because Pete used to be so linear as far as, yeah, you play it against Be Prepared, you ding dong. That's what you're using it for. And now it's a little less obvious when he's good. But when he's good, you're like, Pete, that's why we know and love you.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like Ursula too. Like, you know, we're just throwing them on vibes now. We don't have like a really good metric. Like, we're like, oh, I see that you're a 6 ink. Oh, like, let's stop that. Be Prepared. Or I see that you have enough singers for Under the Sea. It's like, well, wait, do you have the Under the Sea? Are you running Under the Sea? Are you running? You're running into my will. Like, what are we doing? So what is my Pete doing? And at the same time, like, again, if you're thinking about, especially in Amber Steel, we have other 3-cost inkable things that have like 2 lore on them, say like a Lawrence, and you're like, is Larry better than Pete in this situation, or am I losing slower by throwing Pete, and should this just be a Lawrence, or am I actually making a game moving, like, stop, like, no actions, I win now? And so it's very, very interesting to kind of see the different situations in set 9 where Pete is like really good or Pete is mid, but right there he seemed pretty good.
Yeah, and it's definitely, like you said, it's a little bit vibes. I always sometimes I'll talk to players that are better than me. I'm like, oh, you guys aren't vibing. You're using data and learning. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then we see the worst ink you'll ever see in your life. It's Lilo, who she loves being in the discard. She's wonderful with Bobby, but when she's in the ink, well, she's not coming back, unfortunately. Yeah. But she's doing a good sacrifice because she's being inked to play everyone's favorite turn 1 of Daisy.
Yeah, but basically we are saying Lilo, escape artist, will not be escaping.
She cannot escape where you're going.
Yeah, definitely not. And we do see a hook, which is a fantastic turn 1 play, because again, he has that challenger 2, making him just like a 3/2 on turn 1, which is fine. And we do see Dog come down. What is it? It's not Friendly Pooch.
Doug?
It's Friendly Pooch.
And
2 Friendly Pooches.
Oh, and I like that. You know,
lots of dogs for the dog stack.
It's flavorful and hopeful, because now we've seen Habibi. He doesn't do a lot of inking in this deck. It's not his favorite thing to do in the world. And so this is a great way to get some early value. Now, that is not the card he probably wants to see, because that dragon is annoying. That's a genie. And he is a 3/4, I believe.
Genie's Satisfied Dragon. He's a 3/4, and he's evasive on your turn. He can hold damage really, really well, and he can get at those Go-Go Tamagos and anything else in the sky. But
yes,
we do see that you got 2 Friendly Pooches that can come down and basically reduce costs. So we are going to potentially be able to do Hypnotic Strength on the Captain Hook. I just it was a moment of silence for the Daisy, because again, Hypnotic Strength on 2 isn't great until you're taking out a Daisy.
Exactly. And it's also a perfect timing, because normally that Captain Hook is kind of scared because he doesn't want the swing back. But he saw those 2 Plutos and said, what swing back? What are you going to come at me with? So it was a beautiful timing for him, because if he has that, you don't want to necessarily always play around your opponents, what they might do. But in this case, it was the worst case scenario.
Okay, so we are going to opt to play the Ursula, because we're going to see if you have the strength. Did you learn your lesson, or did you draw into it like I always do? And we don't have it.
Wow,
but we do see
cards.
The hand is so good. We have Hook, Genie, Belle, the other Genie that draws us a card, Elsa, Rafiki, and another Genie. So that hand is so good into this deck. And it hurts.
I'm scared. I'm scared for Habibi and the dogs, because Pluto... He is a good boy. He doesn't deserve what could happen to him if he turns sideways. And so now Habibi has to say, well, I'm saving up. I didn't see a strength, but that means he's going to top deck it any minute now. And now we have a singer on board. So it's an uphill battle against these steel decks, especially when, you kind of hope that like, well, maybe he'll run out of cards or something. No, he has a lot of cards and he's going to draw more with that genie in his hand. So it is a very uphill battle here for Habibi. So he just has to keep kind of staying in here. We don't know 100% what's in his hand, but the value, he lost the Daisy and then that Ursula ate up a whole turn here. And now we're playing a no-go Tamago.
No-go Tamago, yeah, and definitely, and that's kind of like what you were saying too. The Amethyst deck is not going to run out of cards because in the very early games, you want to start drawing cards with Genie and Wish Fulfilled, and then you can also do Dumbo if you want to like kind of go through that a little bit later, and then Dock is for late game. So not only do you have early, you have mid, and you have late game card draw. So you will not run out of cards. You will be overrun, and everything is just fine-tuned to take your all your dogs and put them back in the cage in the discard pile.
Yeah, this is rough. And it's the same thing we saw the last match where he's like, I don't want to turn sideways because I'm a little scared right now. And I wouldn't either want to, because I mean, the minute you turn sideways, it is going to be the last time you do. Now that go usually can kind of quest and be like, I'm free, I can do this. But with that Genie, no. So it is just still building that value. Now, it is a very, very cool thing to note that he's on 2 ink, so he's going very wide with very little resources, but he has to be able to cash in with a plan at the end. So Under the Sea is a little bit value. It's rid of 66.67% of his board, but is that in his hand? Is that what he's working towards? Only time will tell.
Well, it does seem that we do have 8 cost worth of singers on Habibi's side. So if we are going to just go ahead and quest, or is it exert with the Pluto to go ahead and play the Tramp? That's actually pretty good. So that's really, really awesome. I was about to say, because we have 8 cost worth of singers on Habibi's board, they can go ahead and sing Under the Sea next turn. However, we did throw the Tramp down. So even if you're Joey and you're able to obliterate some of them dogs, you're going to be able to probably, more than likely, sing Under the Sea, unless we see another Pete, in which case everything I said means nothing.
Yeah, and that Tramp is so incredible because it really is. It's like a hypercharged Bobby, where our Bobby is able to go through and filter out 1 card. Tramp says, I will filter, in this case, 6 cards. And so you get to kind of dig and say, listen, I need a very specific answer. I need to punch something into space with the 2-cost Tramp, or I need Under the Sea, or I need anything here. Now, he needs many answers, so this is probably not the easiest draw and discard you'll ever see in your life, but it can also be a good way to get some Lilos in that discard, where you can play that later as kind of a secret kind of card draw engine. But he has some options, but it is definitely one of my more favorite engines you see in this dog. So it's basically this free giant card that you get to play, in this case for the cost of just 1 Pluto, who's probably not going to be able to survive this turn.
Yeah, absolutely not. But in this case, it depended on how many cards Habibi had in hand, unfortunately. So he might be having to discard down to 1, even though we got to draw all of those. Hopefully, we were able to discard down and keep 2, which would be, we would need exactly Rhino, Under the Sea, and hope, against all hope, we do see the Rhino and a Bobby and that. So it makes me feel like maybe we kind of gripped just 1 card, unless we drew 2 Rhinos into that. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we were only able, no, the Daisy. So we were able to keep 2 cards at least. So hopefully we just ended up drawing into 2 Rhinos, so then we can do that. And basically now we're just saying, please don't play Pete. Just don't play Pete.
I know you think Pete is cute. I know we talked about how he's good and valuable in this meta. Just don't do it. But Joey wants to do it. I don't know Joey personally, but he's going to say, I don't know what kind of weird stuff you're up to. But here he goes. He's still finishing that discarding because, like we said, this is so this is interesting. What does this telegraph to us? I don't know. That maybe he drew some 2 Under the Seas.
Yeah, potentially it would be the 2 Under the Seas, which would be absolutely unfortunate at that point, because then we're like, trying to decide, like, okay, are we going to Under the Sea? Because we would need Rhino Under the Sea to get rid of your board. Is that something that we're doing? If you play Pete, I'm really in trouble. However, if this is another Tramp, then I'm just going to be able to like slam that bad boy for free and and kind of get rid of a lot of different things happening. So we are going to go ahead and play an Elsa, and we're going to go ahead and take out the Pluto.
Pluto and that Tramp that just got here. He just got here. He's an excellent singer. We love his singing. So now we get to find out once he passes his turn. Is he digging for the big tramp or replace for discount and keeps digging for more cards? Is he playing the 2-cost tramp to crack back at one of these cards and try to whittle down Joey's board? Or is there another seed? He has a pretty healthy clutch of cards, but unfortunately with 2 ink.
They're in his discard.
Oh, that's his discard. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
that's a crazy hand, baby.
I don't think that. Okay, I think. Yeah, so we're looking at our discard. So he is playing Chromacon, which is actually a really, really good tool against these decks like this, especially if you're playing more than one card a turn. And they're, you have your Chromacon out, so they're only being able to banish maybe one of your characters a turn before you get to start bouncing their board. And unless they can go really, really wide and outvalue your Chromacon, it's going to kind of keep them off of making your day worse than it already is. But at this point, we've got our card for turn. And then we've got, okay, so it makes me feel like we have a Lady Park Avenue. So potentially what we're going to do is we're going to shift Lady Park Avenue. We're going to get back Bobby, because Bobby is going to give us the utility of drawing a little bit further. We're going to get back the Rhino, because the Rhino is that 2-part wombo combo with our Under the Sea that's going to help us get rid of your board. Or we could just throw something into that genie and get rid of it. But the other two are evasive, so we can't really do that. So Quest with Pluto.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a budget deck that you're able to do these things, like get those cards back using effects where you're like, listen, send my discard, I can get it back, don't worry. And he's going to do that right off the back here. So it's nice because you have all these things you can do with only 2 ink. But I think you would be so much happier if you had more ink than that. So it's interesting to see that you can do such powerful things with the low economy of ink. But man, you are fighting for every inch of ground you're getting in this matchup.
I don't think you bring dogs because you want an easy go of it. You bring dogs because you want to rumble. And so what we did is we inked the Rhino because we needed the ink for turn. Basically what you're saying, we'll play the Bobby, draw a card, discard, probably something that doesn't matter. But man, we're trying to find it because do we have the Under the Sea? Is that where we go? Because we shifted the Lady. So we're looking a little bit better than we were before. And again, I don't know why I'm just like hard stuck Under the Sea, because I'm like, I just need like a board wipe. Just like, let me see a board wipe.
It'd be nice. I mean, I think Habibi deserves it as a treat. Maybe a board wipe as a treat.
Yeah.
So that I believe it looks like that Genie is at a 1 damage. So unfortunately, Gogo cannot forego that Genie on her own. So it is not.
Oh yeah, Gogo can. So Genie is at 2 damage. So we could cleanly take the Gogo into the Genie, and the Genie is actually only on our turn. So it looks like we're going to go for the Lady. Yeah. So the Lady can actually go into the Genie and take that out, putting 3 damage and putting the Lady into our discard for probably a very specific reason, but I'm not sure what the reason is. We'll find out.
We can get her back later. The discard's just our second hand. It's our hand at a pinch,
Oh my God, what if it's Circle of Life?
If it is, you get Habibi has to get a tattoo that says color is law with no you.
I wouldn't know you. I was like, our color was right. That's the color. That's the tattoo you get.
That's egregious behavior. And that's why Amethyst is everyone's favorite color right now in this meta.
Absolutely. Because why not have a second Elsa to go with the other Elsa to go with our Genie? Now Under the Sea does look real sick. But at the same time, there is no way to sing it with our little 1 and 2 cost babies on the board.
No, and
these Genie, it's fun.
These are all super unshiftable characters. These are all characters that they don't do it. Folks in this matchup, they're not shifting. So it is definitely, I feel for Habibi in this position because this deck requires so much brain power, so much planning, and he's kind of been doing improv this whole time. Ooh,
well, now actually Gogo comes down full value Gogo for 4, which is pretty nice. So we did gain 4 in that situation. We can go ahead, and if we wanted to, we could finish off an Elsa because we do have the 2 Gogos, or potentially we can try to quest and hope that you don't have a Bell at this point. So we are just going to go ahead and pass, and we're going to hope that that card is not Bell.
Yeah, and it probably will be because that's how this game seems to work sometimes. Is you're like, as long as you don't have this one, it's Calhoun, which is still a problem in a different way.
To a dock? Oh no, there's the Bell. Never mind. You slow rolled the Bell, and I hate it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's not. It is Bell. He's like, I want to let you know, and that is Habibi has played this deck so many times. Him and Joseph have been testing this since I believe PPG, like since the set rotation. I believe they've been testing it. They were playing it down in CCS. They've been playing it all over this nation and all over this continent. And so he's played it, and that's why you see that scoop. He's like, listen, I know this matchup, so we're gonna go ahead and interview him and see how it's going. And we're gonna be really nice, Habibi. We're not. It'll be fine. Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna jump in now. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for this technical difficulty. I have no idea why both of the mics muted instantly at the same time. Can you chat hear me? Can chat hear the music?
Always driving straight down the middle of the meta and just kind of bulldozing through myriads of decks. So share a little bit of why you decided to bring Amethyst Steel today and why you think it's a good deck to bring to a kind of open field where you know probably what people are going to be bringing and it matches into the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, the deck's got, like you said, a very wide spread of matchups and such. It is always a grind. I've always been telling people it's just like you're never out of a match ever, but you're also never really feel like you're winning too hard. You're always like, oh, wow, that's a good top deck, and then like the board swings like 4 characters, and you're like, that was a really good play. Or like the other side, you're like, man, I'm under a lot of pressure, and then what card can I possibly draw? And you're like, oh, the card, that card, yeah, cool. And it's just like a toolbox of I got a bunch of 2 ofs and 1 ofs in the deck to really spread my matchup field pretty well.
Yeah, and in that matchup, I mean, you were definitely not. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a great way to describe it. You weren't like, it wasn't stunning. We weren't going, oh my gosh, he's oppressive, but you were in the game both time. So, I mean, how did it feel against the dogs? Is this a matchup that when you see you get a little tense, or is this something that you've been having a pretty good time against in your set champs
Yeah.
and other tournaments?
I mean, Dogs is always one of those decks that if they find their best draw, like there's nothing you can do about it. Same thing with like a Blurple. Like there's certain openings that they have that you just really have no play into. I thought I was screwed when he Ursulaed my strength in game one because he just had a very super wide board presence and then singing Under the Sea. But I kind of teched against Under the Sea decks by putting a bunch of 3 strength characters in the deck, which has been very useful in a lot of cases, and it helps for trades as well on the backside.
Yeah, we did see the Pete come down at a perfect moment because again, Habibi had the second Under the Sea. And
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh, this Rhino Under the Sea combo is awesome. I love this. And then everybody's like, Pete, 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 Pete. And Habibi was like, yeah, no, it's Pete. So proving that that card still has a place in this meta. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a really good in the steel mirrors. So like amethyst steel or purple steel mirrors. Genie is always my go-to, followed by a Cobra, just for the 4 stat. But Pete has been fantastic going into the steel mirrors because you get to fire off your strength before they do.
Now, I mean, this matchup was kind of scary because before we talk about who do we think is going to win, and Color said specifically one person would lose tonight. So that was kind of powerful. That's powerful magic here. But at least we know that like that means from here.
Let me guess, it was me.
It was.
So I said that ETB was gonna win, but Habibi's gonna lose, and so the rest of your team is gonna do really, really great. So you should be.
So it's
really
like
proud.
it's a bad news, but good news, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
it's like
Exactly.
it's like a sandwich of like hooray, but like haha, I was making a joke, and then hooray, and then no, you were supposed to win. You were supposed to win. I told you to win.
They swept us last time in the top 4, so it's a grudge match.
yeah, and it was a very fun match to see, and a match that I'm sure we will see in every set champ and the DLC coming,
Absolutely.
because these are 2 decks that we saw why they're good. You were able to do some funky stuff. I mean, Habibi, did you ever ink? I think you got to 4 ink in game 1.
Yeah, I'm not really.
4 ink.
Anytime the dogs player is just inking and playing anything besides like their primary 3-4 lines is just a sign of the strength of their hand. So I was at one point I was just inking to see if I can combat with ladies and like win another way. Game 1 I didn't see the 7 cost or 2 cost tramp, which I need to like deal with those 3-4s and 3-3s. Even when I kind of tried to bait out like the hypnotic in turn in game 3. I didn't have it. Yeah, I didn't game 2. Yeah, I'm so used to not losing in 2-0. Jesus. Anyways, what's it called? But yeah, like
Like,
not having like the my bad. Not having the tramps is like brutal because like you mentioned, like it's really fun to combo off and like Under the Sea, but you need to like eliminate those 3-3s, and the best way, almost the only way to do that is with our 2 cost tramp. So unfortunately, if you don't see it into purple steel, like it's almost an unwinnable matchup, even if I get to combo off sometimes and they open with a bunch of Cahoons. But I think this is a testament to like very good draws and then a very good piling from him. So well done to him either way.
Yeah. You as well,
Yeah.
sir.
Definitely. I think it was a game 2 where you played the Ursula, and I looked at his hand. I was like, well, he didn't hit a strength of a Raging Fire, but oh my god, that hand is so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely that disparity between Amethyst Steel kind of drawing into just like their middle of the road, like not even high rolling, just like kind of what they need. And then you were like, I'm gonna play a go-go, and I was like, no, Habibi, no, not like this. So definitely,
Got like
you called your
31 drops
shot.
in here, playing
Yeah.
like 2 drops on with dogs and not 2
Yeah.
1 drops is just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sentence.
But yeah,
Definitely.
it was a good match nonetheless. I'm confident my team will bring it back, so I'm not worried.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been foretold. I mean the prophecy has already been established, and you've fulfilled your
I'm so conflicted now. Like now, I want my team to win, but then that means Color is right, and I almost rather Color be wrong than my team win. So it's like,
all right.
Feels,
Can't wait for the Habibi Color grudge match.
I was like, it's like, oh my god, no, I don't even know. We'll do it like next set. Like next set, when I don't have to play like Amber cards, I'll be fine. We'll be good. Ruby will be a Color next set. That's my prediction, and I'll see you then, Habibi. Set 10.
Maybe allies on the other side if we ever get an invite.
Oh right, yeah, I gotta do that too.
First, we gotta say bye-bye to Habibi and Bibi.
Bye-bye.
We're gonna ask you, do you have any shout-outs or anything you'd like to say before you go ahead and
Just my team, Enter the Battlefield, as well as Twin Moon Studios for the amazing mats, and Endgame for our wonderful sleeves that don't ripple. Appreciate it.
I've been playing with them. I played with them my set champs. I have a pink box of sleeves and I've used them, and they're fun. That's my endorsement. I like it.
They're
thank you.
fun. That's everything I want a sleeve is fun.
I know. I have no notes, and that's good. You don't want to have too many notes with sleeves, right? You want to be unremarkable in most ways.
Yeah.
I want to be very simple. Thank you.
Yes. So we'll go ahead and throw it over to It's Automatic.
Yeah.
What kind of shows do you have?
Yeah, just shout out to my team as well, Freedom Gaming. Hope we can keep up the momentum going into game 2. And yeah, keep a win streak going after we lost last week. Oh, sorry, have a guest star.
I love that. No, we need more people in the ICL as always. So, well, congrats on your win. It was a definitely hard fought victory where you were fighting at lots of dogs that were ready to bite. So, congratulations on your win, and we'll go ahead and let you get back to the green room to get ready with your teams for round 2.
Thank you, guys.
Oh no, I have to press the buttons. Everybody help.
And I'm back. I think. Hopefully it works this time. And
I think it did. I think it did, Color. I think we're honestly women in STEM. We did it, okay?
Yeah, just clicking buttons real fast.
Oh no. Oh no. Hopefully you guys can hear Luke. Otherwise it looks like me and Color just completely got raptured. Oh my goodness, Luke. Okay, honestly, cancel Luke because we were we were like patting ourselves on the back.
Yeah, and I saw that chat was like, "Oh, we can't hear you." Well, we can hear music. Well, we can hear Luke, and I'm like, "This is going well." And then Luke's like, "You're muted." And I'm like, "There's literally no way in technology that I am muted right now." And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, we can hear you." I'm like, "Luke is on the back end doing stuff, but not things." But
well, shout out to me and Color who did nothing wrong, and we were perfect angel babies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys did. That means you did miss a story where I said that Habibi messaged me before this and he was like, I'll see you in the player interview after I get O2'd by Purple Steel. And I was like, oh. So there's a lot of prophecies coming true. So that means
just went to music. That's
round
amazing.
2. I know, right?
We just went to nothing. He's like, you know what's better than these two people talking? Just sounds of generic copyright-free music. And you guys can't hear him. He's talking to us again. It's great. This is.
I can't rap at all.
The rap battle.
Katie is way more clever and quick than I will ever be. So absolutely not.
No. If you make me be clever, it all leaves my body. I turn into nothing. And so
yeah, like if it's like a rap battle and then you'll start rapping and I'm like, oh my god, that was so good. You're so funny. You're so good. It's just like I'll turn into your hype person. It's a 1-person rap battle.
Katie, you're just rapping. I can't. I can't make a funny joke about not being funny while rapping. Yeah. That's how bad it is. J-Bomb, you threw up our groove. We'll have to throw him from the balcony.
Be funny. Be funny right now. Be funny.
Yeah. Well, we can't because Luke will mute us. So speaking of Luke muting us, he can't mute us if we're gone. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Color, do you have anything you want to say? I'll give you, do you want to say anything? This is your last chance.
I mean, I'm probably going to get muted, but that's fine. But no, let's see. We got round 2, 3 coming. The prophecies have already been foretold. Habibi did lose O2 by Purple Steel like he said he would. Amethyst Steel got him, but that's okay because we predicted. And when me and all of my personalities think that ETB is going to win this 2-1. So next 2 rounds, ETB.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and throw it on over. I believe we've got JDZ in the booth with Garrick, maybe?
Somebody.
Garrick or Luke. It could be somebody we don't know, but JDZ will tell us in a moment. So we'll go ahead and throw it on over to JDZ. Get in here.
Yo. It was Luke.
What's going on?
It was Luke all along. What up, Luke?
It was my fault all along.
I didn't say it. I was just saying. I was talking about you and me in the booth together. I wasn't even going to mention what just transpired behind the screen. I got the secrets. Okay, I'm not going to leak the go. I will never throw you under the bus. Okay, what happens behind the scenes stays behind the scenes, Luke. Okay, we'll just put that as
some random production stuff, and all of a sudden, I don't hear Katie and Color anymore, and I'm like, what is going on? And chat starts being like, I don't hear anything either. I'm like, what? You can hear music, right? And then.
Fully prepared to toss that up to an autumnal equinox. There was some kind of spatial solar flare. Yeah, there's a solar flare that happened. Yeah, a solar flare came and knocked out the sound. But how you been, Luke? Man, how you feeling? Is your health starting to improve?
Well, it does not hurt enough that I can do this. So we're here today. Today's been the best day. It's been a week, so that's good.
Well, that's good.
And we're getting it hopefully taken care of in a couple of days here.
I'm glad to hear, man. Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to have you back, and thank you for everything you do for the ICL. And my prediction is already incorrect for the first time of the season. I had
See,
ETB taking this thing 3-0, but BB goes down in game number 1, and Joseph is going to be on the play this time, trying to even the battlefield instead of enter the battlefield. Thoughts?
you shouldn't have been like, I'm undefeated, because I was also like undefeated in records. I think I went 2-1 for record for both of them. Maybe I didn't do yesterday. I might have been wrong on yesterday's. Maybe, but
we never did it. We didn't do it. We didn't do it yesterday.
Oh, we didn't
That's
do
why.
it yesterday.
We didn't do it. We started too late, and we didn't get a chance to get the predictions in. But I probably would have picked the 2-1 yesterday. I think in the way that it went, if I had to call it. But now we got Joseph Pandemonium Heart on the play. It looks like he's going to be on the patent pending Sapphire and Emerald strategy, bringing it to the ICL. That's what he's been playing all set.
You're at least half right. We don't know for sure. Maybe this is some Ruby Spice, Clara Pirates. Who knows? Who knows?
We did see some Clara Pirates yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked and surprised. But I know what I know about Joseph Quigley, Jay Quickster, aka Tiger Boy. I know he's been playing this deck. He put out a guide to this deck, and I think I'd be shocked and surprised if he doesn't show up with this deck. As we got 2 Amethyst cards going down to an Inkwell. Maybe it's a Blurple versus Emerald and Sapphire. Who do you like in this matchup, Luke? You play both of these decks.
Well, I prefer to play the Emerald Sapphire side, but if Blurple plays more ramp and more high-end cards, it can equalize it a little bit. I mean, there's nothing like playing Bend to My Will and having your opponent top deck and then play Finders Keepers. Like, it's a painful feeling. But if those types of things happen, like, Blurple can still win. I feel like Emerald Sapphire is favored, but, like, favor doesn't mean it's a buy, right?
For sure. And I've seen it go both ways too. I've seen the Sapphire Amethyst player go second star to the right, do some shenanigans, pass, get Bend to My Will, and I've also seen the opposite way where they get Bend to My Will and then they come back in with the second star to the right, and it's just a volatile. It's volatility is the code word of this entire format. As we got Rafiki Gaming on 1, got a little bit of Sally as the right C on 2. Curves looking nice as you got everything you wanted.
That Monstro. Now, I don't know about this. Interesting. I wonder what the game plan here is. Maybe it's just that afraid of not having a 4-drop, but I would have rather kept the Monstro. But I guess Cisu's just emptying his hand. He doesn't want to get hit by the Clarabelle. That's exactly what
that could be it. That could be it.
Monstro is so scary in this, like, to answer certain cards, and I kind of like having it, but it's so early. We probably just can't afford to keep it.
Yeah, and knowing maybe you got you could be also struggling with some inkability issues. You maybe have some Hades, some big Elsas. That Genie is another uninkable card. We saw how effective that Monstro was in this matchup yesterday. In yesterday's game, you guys go check that VOD out. It's up and available. We saw him come in and be able to take down 2 5 willpower characters in a trade in that late game, Luke. I think it's pretty strong.
Exactly, and that's why I would want to keep it. But just for thinking for half a second, I'm like, no, you need to empty your hand. You can't let this Clarabelle draw you 10,000 cards. And that's why Joseph plays the Donald Duck. He's like, you know what? You're going to empty your hand. How about I just refill it for you?
Give him that juice, setting up for a nice, juicy Bend to My Will or a Clarabelle shift. You have 2 lines available, which is a very advantageous position to be in. If you were able to clear 1, you still have the opportunity to get your shift on. Clarabelle shift, saying you're welcome, is a power play of this metagame. I hate when it happens to me. I love doing it.
Or Inca, you're welcome.
Don't tell me you got another one. Or maybe you don't have the ink.
Under the Sea.
That could be problematic. Under the Sea. You have the singers up. Good.
Maybe we just have Hades or no inks in hand. Like, if we're inking the You're Welcome.
Because that play is such a rock solid play. But Joseph Quigley still thinking here.
He's thinking about what to sing You're Welcome with. Which it's an interesting thing. So you hit the Genie, and now, yes, the Donald could be got by the 2 Rafikis, but it also means you're losing both Rafikis. And
for sure.
We're going to be drawing enough cards here that we're probably fine with the Duck going out. I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph does not quest. 1, because of the Rafikis, and 2, you just don't want to get hit by Into the Unknown.
For sure. Unless does Joseph have another card left? There still could be a potential
Under the sea.
under the sea available as well. You're just trying to put a
That'd
little
be
bit
dirty.
more salt into the wound. You get some extra cards, and then you play the under the sea. That might be a bit greedy, but
I'd do
it's
it.
a potential.
I would do it. So fast I would do it. You're gonna refill your hand, and then you have Donald to also give you more cards. It's like, sure, even if he gives you the ink, you'll have 2 more ink. Oh, headset.
And
Well, a 1 jump. Okay.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
I probably do that as well.
Right. And I think to your point earlier that you made, you probably will lose this Clarabelle here with these
6,
double Rafikis.
7.
They'll swim in.
Definitely singing that 1 jump. Give me 2 more ink, Cisu. Give me 2 more ink. I've got a grip. I'll just shift another one, play another one. Like this is
For sure.
is what the deck wants to be doing here.
And yeah, that you've been out inked, but you still have this very threatening Clarabelle. You can send those Rafikis in, but to your point, man, yeah, just losing 2 characters for 1. Actually, it'd be a 2 for 2 because of the shift underneath. But just so much loss in board position, you really don't mind too much as you're going to send your entire side in right now, clearing the Clarabelle, clearing the small Clarabelle, and this is all of a sudden it's still pretty bad, but it's not that bad. Look, you just got to fade a bend in my wheel here, and you're kind of on your way.
That's the one issue with this deck is you can have some insanely powerful plays, but it doesn't win you the game per se. It just gives you a big chunk of advantage. And then you just have to try to, as long as you don't brick, because you're drawing so many chunks of cards that normally you're going to hit a piece of removal you need, or another card to refill your hand, or a bend to my will, or a visions to find these cards to have these big impact plays.
Mm-hmm.
And once the first one happens, it tends to snowball out of control. But sometimes you're just like tipo, like
Yeah,
baby
heads held high, tipo,
yeah,
tipo,
yeah.
and you're like, who cares? Yeah. So that's the risk you get as you speak of that tipo, and he shows himself putting himself down into the inkwell. You're still holding your breath a little bit, hoping for not a bend to my will here, because that would be a game breaking type card. This Donald Duck thinking about getting a quest in. I think you might, or maybe potentially sing a song. I don't know what you do with this Donald Duck. Are you questing this Donald Duck in this spot?
So it could be we're singing You're Welcome and then playing Clarabelle.
Oh, wow. So the third, You're Welcome. You're right, Luke. So we got a third copy of You're Welcome. We did accelerate our position a little bit, get our hand size down ever so slightly, and you still could be able to get some potential value out of another Clarabelle. So this is looking pretty nice, but Cisu is just biding time. I think it's not. I mean, we got a lot of game left. This thing might take 25 more minutes. We got a lot of meat left on this bone right here in this matchup, because until that bend in my wheel comes in, I think Cisu still has a chance.
Yeah, as long as he can continue to rebuild his board. We haven't seen an under the sea yet, though, and that's going to hit a lot of things when Cisu tries to do that. Already 1 genie out of the way.
For sure. And you could be setting up for that head tail high under the sea combo as well. I think that's something that you could have potential for. Both of those cards are seen together. You have I think you should, going into your next turn, you'll have the ink available to do it. That's going to go Contented Wallflower back to back, both getting a card, setting up a double shift line again. I like that play.
It's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. 2/3 that draws 1 card the turn you play it. Probably gonna draw another card.
Mm-hmm. And again, setting up another potential shift line, so you have the ability to get the big Clarabelle back at it again if Cisu does commit another flood of characters to the board or another 2-cost character. You're going to lose it to an Under the Sea, or maybe even a Mother Knows Best bounce back to the hand. You can even go Mother Gothel bounce back to the hand. So this is getting a little bit where I know I was talking about Cisu spot is quite nice, but you need to continue to ink and accelerate a little bit.
He needs a lot more.
Get to that Hades stuff. Yeah, he's kind of trapped. How many? He's sitting at 5 ink now. One in a 6 ink turn. TikTok might not be good enough.
It's still big, but yeah, it's once Joseph starts playing Hades and Basil's game, or John Silver's and such, like he just needs to start. Once he's developed the army of 2 lore threats, then things can get a little difficult.
Right.
And if he waits until Cisu can start playing Hades, it's not nearly as powerful as well.
Yeah, get into these late game Hades wars. Late game Hades, you basil the Hades and just continue to lock them out. Because I know for sure, I think Joseph Quigley is for sure going to be a bend in my will gamer. And in this matchup, you're on borrowed time. I think as a Sapphire Amethyst player, you kind of want to maybe assume this more aggressive position and just start to get as much and start trying to quest early. I know it's kind of a haphazard thing to just easier said than done, I would say, but I think waiting around until you get that bend in my will, it's going to be super, super problematic. So I think Cisu's doing everything he can, but this is not feeling too great here.
Have we seen any visions played yet?
No, not from either player.
Right there.
There it is.
All
There
right.
it is. Look at Luke, dude. Man, that's why he's a DLC champ, man. Okay, come on. Look at that.
You just gotta be like, where's the visions into bend to my will? Right here.
Oh, no, not like this. That'd be brutal. That would be brutal.
Pretty good.
It'll be really good for Joseph. Terrible for Cisu. And I hate getting bent in my will. That card feels so bad when it happens to you. I mean, I take it personally every single time.
Every time.
Every time.
You're only playing this because it's me. How dare you?
And it also stinks too because whenever someone plays bend in my will, because we're so conditioned to be like cards in hand. Hey, how many cards you got in your hand? Cards in hand. How many cards you got in your hand?
Visions and divisions. We're going for that bend.
But they'll bend to my will and they'll be like, "Hey man, cards in hand." I'm like, you know how many cards I have in my hand? You know the answer is zero,
jerk.
dude. You just took them all. I got none, man. Come on. Hey, cards in hand. How many cards you got in hand? Zero, man, because of you. You're bending my will. Whatever, dude. But we're deep diving for something, and I think it might be that bend in my will. I think your board is looking okay enough after the double visions. You still have, I think you still have the ability to ink this turn.
Could be looking for another Clarabelle as well. Possibly.
Yeah. Okay. I think do you have the ink available to have you inked yet for turn? I think you still have the ability to do that. And you can shift that Clarabelle in right now and still potentially seeing the Under the Sea. That could be another card that you were looking for. Just clearing this genie off and taking over the board as we're going to develop as well. So we're searching, huh?
Maybe we haven't been grabbing those with the other ones and we just had all of those and we're just developing a really good hand.
That could be it. Just clearing that TPO as well. Getting some more ink out of there. What are we doing? How much is that? We got another, I believe 4. That is 4. The Shift Baymax. He can also sing the Under the Sea. Let's see if we'd like to do so. And we probably will not. Or
I
you
think
can just
we're
quest here.
questing. I'm assuming we're questing.
What do you think about that quest? It seems pretty safe. I mean, your opponent, I think now they are going into their Hades turn here. If I can't quite tell, looking at those sleeves, beautiful sleeves from both of these Illumineers, rocking the cerulean color sleeves, or maybe that's a indigo.
They look
I would
slightly
say
different shades.
Slightly different shade. What would you call? I think Pandemonium. That's more of an indigo, and Cisu's maybe a cauliflower blue.
Cauliflower blue.
Yeah,
I've never seen blue cauliflower, but
I don't know. That's just a color that they have on the thing. Pull it up, man. Check it out on the color wheel. I'm pretty sure it's cauliflower blue, maybe.
It's like baby blue.
Cauliflower blue is baby blue. It's a little lighter.
This looks like baby blue.
No, baby blue is more like a sky blue, like a like a lighter. Yeah. Baby blue is like a lighter, much lighter blue. So,
all right.
I don't know. What's your favorite shade of blue in the chat?
I can see a lot of different shades. I can tell the difference. I know some people can't. I don't know the names of them though.
You got to go to Home Depot. You got to spend more time at Home Depot, I think. Looking at paint swatches. I think that's what it get you. As Elsa is going to go on in down and clear that Clarabelle, and Genie's going to get a little quest in for 2. Set yourself up for Mighty Under the Sea. This deck does play that. Quickster's gone through a ton of cards. Hasn't seen one yet. You got the singing capability to get it done as well.
Yet, really. I mean, there's one turn we could have had one that would have been decent.
Mm-hmm. What about right now? Would you rip right now just to get both of these characters out of here?
Possibly. I think Sing Under the Sea, play Bend, pass is a fair turn.
That's a terrifying term, man. It just feels so bad when this deck is able to set up and do its thing, and they're actually comboing off. It feels miserable to play against it, but I think it's a powerful deck, and I wouldn't be shocked or surprised to see this have a pretty decent showcase in the DLC coming up in Milwaukee in a few short weeks. Man, 2 weeks from today. Ouch. Or no, 2 weeks and some change. Couple days after 2 weeks, we're gonna be in Milwaukee. Seeing some Sapphire Emerald doing its thing over there. And just like you drew it up, the John Silver has landed. We're going to give Reckless to that genie, indicated by that's your boy, the big body, the pot belly pirate himself.
Just like me. Big, fat, and reckless given.
Oh, Milwaukee's next week. I'm tripping, man. I don't know where I'm at. I'm in a time vortex.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Did
you just
say
ready? It was farther away? No.
I thought it was like 2 weeks away. You're not ready?
No. This last week has been a blur of pain and lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go on some crazy 3-day forbidden app excursion that I haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll force some of my teammates to play games with me. I forced Bannable to test some games with me the other night, and I felt embarrassingly poor in some of my decision making. I'm rusty.
We got time, man. You got to lock in, dude. Everyone's gonna be coming for the champ, dude. Everyone's gonna be coming for the champ, Luke. I know if I was be playing, I'd be coming for the champ. Coming after. I'm kidding. Coming for you. I'm coming for the. Okay. All right. I like that attitude. Now that's the real Luke right here. As Baymax is going to get a quest in, Genie is reckless, so keeping the Donald ready. I think that's a heads-up maneuver to force the Genie into the Baymax to clear it.
Keeps the Genie alive, makes it so and Under the Unknown doesn't happen, forcing a Hades to have to hit it, or in this case, force the Hades to hit the double ink character to keep the Genie alive for a turn, which I'm assuming Joseph is just slow rolling and Under the Sea at this point, so he doesn't really actually care that much about this, and is probably more happy about the fact that his John Silver didn't get Hades and he got 2 free ink. Right. He doesn't really need to ink anymore.
Yeah, he is showing a lot of patience too. I think that's just a sign that he's really comfortable with this deck. Just looking at the cards in hand, there's so many of them, and you still have the ability now, if you wish, you could go heads held high and Under the Sea the same turn to clear the entire board. But maybe you're just trying to coerce Cisu and to continue to add more characters to the board, and just make this Under the Sea just that much more effective. And or like you said, even get into a Under the Sea bend in my will situation, the game just ends, man. So let's see if you can get to it, or maybe Cisu can turn it around and just continue to find a way to break through this massive lock, sing a second star to the right, and your opponent may not be playing Under the Sea or bend in my will. You're so back.
I'm so proud of you for using the card overlay thing to pull up the cards you're talking about.
Thank you. Almost
combo,
and it happened. Oh, combo breaker. Remember that? No.
What's going on? Oh,
he did it. He went full wombo combo on him with the heads held high, touch the sky, and then we're going to go Under the Sea and send the entire field to the underneath the deck. So, RESCUE, Rescue Aid Society. Heads held high, touch the sky. Courageous are we? RESCUE. Rescue. That song kind of goes hard. It grows on you, man. It grows on you. Oh, man. H. Heads. How do I find this thing? The thing is, I can't type. That's my issue. And I'm like, you give me the thing, like, hey, just type it in. It takes me 45 seconds to type because I'm just like.
You just type heads.
Yeah, I got it now. I'm there now, but it happened. And this card is going to be able to reduce all the character strength by 2. And then we're going to be able to sing Under the Sea. So if you're just tuning in, by 3, I'm sorry, excuse me. And it's going to be able to send everyone to the bottom of the deck. That's what we call the Wombo Combo here in this new meta game. As John Silver done his time, going to go down to the Inkwell as well.
I've definitely been calling that card Into the Inkwell. That's its new name.
You know what? You're gonna screw me up, Luke, because I'm now gonna say that on the dang official broadcast.
The DLC.
They're gonna kick me out of here, man. Come on, dude. You know I got a bad brain, dude. Why are you gonna do me like that?
They're gonna swing for Lorthel if they don't use Into the Inkwell right now.
Like, what is he talking about? Get this guy out of here.
What are these words?
Into the Inkwell. Oh man, into the unknown. Yeah, because basically that's where he's going. Into the Inkwell. Into the Inkwell. Into the Inkwell.
Dude, the way you were first singing that was reminding me of Reading Rainbow.
That show's great, man. That's such a peaceful.
Yeah.
That little. Whenever I hear that music, I get so nostalgic, and it almost makes me like weep a little bit. What is that sound at the beginning?
I liked on that show. It's like a butterfly or something. I don't know.
You know the sound I'm talking about, though, right? As Hades is down. Oof. And now we can free and clear to start questing. But there's a sound at the beginning of Reading Rainbow. It's like a. You know what I'm talking about. Am I losing it, Luke?
Now my brain just turned.
You know what I'm talking about, man.
These ducks. These ducks drawing so many cards. It's insane. I'm going to Google it later, though. I'm going to look up the intro to Reading Rainbow. Okay.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book of Reading Rainbow. But there's a very specific sound that's at the beginning of Reading Rainbow, and I can't find that sound anywhere. I don't know what it is. It's not natural, but it's like a. I don't know what it is. Okay, I sound like a psychopath. I'm not going to do this anymore. We're going to into the Inkwell again with the. We're sending away that Scrooge, or excuse me, that Donald Duck. He's done so much dastardly damage, drawing so many cards. Quack Attack. It's and now this position looks okay adjacent. I can't quite tell how many cards Cisu has in hand, but we're dragging this thing along, and it seems like no, you're still a bit far behind. You're out inked, you're still outmaneuvered, and Quig has way too much energy in hand as another John Silver is going to splash Potbelly Pirate onto the board again. The Space Pirate Villain Captain and Clarabelle in tandem coming through, getting active. John Silver, I believe, has the most gamer tags, most characteristics out of all the characters in Lorcana.
Anyway, we're definitely listening to the chat and us are listening to the
Can you hear it? What? Can you run it? What's the sound?
What is whippets?
What is that sound? What is that?
Like being at the dentist.
What is that sound? I don't know. It's a very special sound. As Bell, the accomplished mystic, is going to be out here passing some damage over to the Hades. Hades.
I downloaded the extended version, and it just had some weird part to it that I did not remember.
The deep cuts? And we're out of here. Speaking of deep cuts, we're going to go ahead and take this thing. He's got out of there. So now now you know what you're up against. Now you know how this matchup is going to go. So now you could probably try to change your game plan a little bit to maybe combat what's happening. But I really don't know if you have the tools to do that. I don't think you can. It's really hard to stop. You have to hope that there's a little bit of bricking, or they miss their power plays, because they set up on you. It's going to be tough, but you are going first.
Austin from YouTube says that it's a keyboard.
It's a keyboard? No chance that's a keyboard.
Dude, keyboards can do a lot of crazy stuff.
They had to severely augment that keyboard in like some kind of post. That cannot be a normal, because it's like echoey. It's like
well, yeah, it's just some EDM keyboard.
Some effects in there. Okay. All right. Well, I have to check it out, man. I want to know, because I just need to get that. I need that sound in my life, because whenever I hear that sound, it just makes me happy. If it strikes something in my spirit, because I loved Reading Rainbow. LeVar Burton was the reason I had a mustache for a really long time, because he had a mustache. You know.
All right,
and I thought it was a cool happening to do.
There's a sound that does that same thing to me in the song "Like a Stone" from Audioslave. There's like this weird guitar.
I love that song.
And I love that guitar riff thing.
Hey, you're how long to be, roam by roam patiently. That song is great, dude. That is a great song.
I can't describe the guitar thing that they do, but like the first time I heard it, I was like, I love this song. I don't care, just for this part right here. The rest of the song's still a banger, but
The song goes crazy. Which song? I'm trying to think of the part you're talking about, like the part at the I just know I'll wait for you there alone. Wow, wow, wow.
yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. It's great, dude. You're right. You're right. You're right, dude. That's cool. They went nuts on that one. Audio Slave was a moment in time. They killed it, man.
We're just elderly men here talking about music of days past.
Little dad rock. I love some dad rock.
Oh, don't call it that. That hurts.
That's what it is, Luke. That's what we're old. We're old. I'm telling you, man, because Blink 182 is now on the classic rock station. It is for sure. It's on there. Yeah, we're old, dude. Audio Slave is classic rock for sure.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah, you're old, man.
Well, yeah, that's
Soundgarden plus Rage Against the Machine, Audio Slave.
I love Rage Against the Machine.
That whole album, man.
Rage Against the Machine being dad rock is just like funny to me.
Right?
Rage Against the System. I'm gonna have a family.
Rage Against the Machine. I'm literally paying my taxes right now.
Ooh, Into the Unknown inked right away. Joseph has to feel a little good about that.
Not seeing it. Yeah, that's another out. Your opponent is naturally going to have more Hades than you because of the Basil. Check that. We got one Basil going down to the Inkwell very, very early on.
Both players having like pretty good cards put in the Inkwell. Like that's not what you want to put. You want to put your extra T-Pos, your extra Clarabelles, things that don't matter as much.
For sure. Yeah, I concur. And it just kind of, every time you put a card down in Inkwell, it tells a story about your hand, as we are going to elect to send the T-Po in favor of the Sell the Azurite Sea, which I think is awesome, as you're going to put the Iago down. No more one-cost character this time. You really prioritize those Rafikis in the blind, but now you're like, okay, let's just push this thing into deep terrain, because you kind of got stifled a bit and weren't able to really get to where you want to be last round. So maybe you're making those changes. That's very interesting. So we're going to take it a little bit slower this time from Cisu. Whereas, what's the Quickster going to do?
Yes, chat. They did make a custom champion mat, but I do believe they asked us for permission, and we said yes.
Those are very, very cool looking mats. I enjoy those a lot. Shout out to them. I think they turned out great. The champion, the idea, the solid color into the colors behind the champion. Very clean mats there. As we got double T-Po, look at that. So the superfluous, useless, growing sun is going to be out of here into the Inkwell, right where it belongs. And we get an easy quest in with Clarabelle, while another T-Po is going to get down to the Inkwell into the Genie. So curve is looking real nice for Cisu this time, as you have established the singing and questing evasive character. Genie.
I think a one-drop Basil would have been all right. So that way, if well, I guess that it doesn't matter necessarily. I was thinking, so if a Wallflower comes down and Elsa can still take it out, but we don't really need that because we have the Genie, right? So as long as there's an Elsa here, we could take one of the cows out. Oh, but now if we have the Elsa, we get to just stop the Clarabelle shift line, and I think that's gigantic.
Right, and I think you might have to take that play if you have it available. Seeing that Contented Wallflower go down to the Inkwell as well might tell a story about Joseph's hand. This deck can brick a bit. Let's see if we got the Elsa, and you got it. Elsa right on time, on 5, doing her thing, is going to be able to take down this baby Clarabelle. You love to see it if you are Cisu. Can't stand
Donald
it when
just
it happens
gonna fill up those hands.
Getting one each. One for turn. Okay. So this might be able to help you with your Inkability crisis that you might be going through. Or maybe you're setting up for a Clarabelle on 6th. I know a lot of Illumineers do that as well. You play the 1 cost, and then you can shift the Clarabelle immediately on top of it to get a little surprise sneak attack.
Play it. You can just hardcast it now because of the Donald here. Give us that ramp.
For sure, yeah. But that's a good way to cheat an additional card out of your hand, too, if you want to try to get maximum value with the Clarabelle. So I know some people still do it, but that's just a vibe, though.
It doesn't look like Quickster's on Bleakley, but I was a big fan of the ramp on 2, like Tipo on 2, turn 3, play Sail, and Pleakley the Tipo, and the next turn just hardcast the cow, and then they can't interact with the Clarabelle. Then you don't get to sing a song with it, but you do just get to play it, and you don't have to worry about hoping your shift targets survive.
Yeah, and it's like a surprise sneak attack too sometimes, because they may not see the Pleakley coming. They can prepare for the little guys. They'll keep their Elsa, they'll keep the Bell and all that, whatever. And then boom, you get Pleak.
He's got a body.
Yeah, he's pretty bulky. That guy 3-4 ain't no joke. As now it looks like, I believe they're having a little slight conversation. I can't quite tell what is happening. Just trying to get an idea of the hand size. It's 4. As you still don't have the ability to sing that Sex Star to the right, which I don't even know if that's something that you want to do. As the Dombino is in, we can go ahead and use his effect as well. Get another card, gain a lore.
How do you feel about Clarabelle?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do you feel about drawing cards in this situation, Luke? Would you keep drawing or what?
I mean, maybe. It's hard to say there. Probably. It's like, well, if you have the Clarabelle, you're gonna have it. You have like 4 or 5 cards already. You're gonna make us each draw cards, no matter what. Ooh, another Into the Unknown.
Another one. So that's 2. Count them 2 into the unknowns, into the inkwell on your side. Haven't had a chance to use me yet. As Basil is going to be your last ink remaining. Yeah, I think that's a good way to just kind of. Excuse me. You got the ink, the draw, but you're able to ink and play another card to kind of keep your hand size at least in a modest point. One of the rules I heard to kind of help in this matchup, if you keep your hand relatively low and keep a really good card in your hand, then it helps to combat a Clarabelle situation. What do you think about playing against this green-blue deck? I know you played it. What do you not like to see on your opponent's side?
Well, I mean, Under the Seas, mostly. It's just like, don't have the Under the Sea, please, 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 please. Don't. You want to have the Peats to stop those. You need the Peat to stop the Bend. But I tend, like, when I played against this, it's...
I shouldn't have asked. Oh no, I shouldn't have asked.
That's what I don't like to see.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked, because you had to do it. I think you had to do it, and you had to know that was a possibility, just based on Joseph's inking crisis that the cards you've been putting in Inkwell. It was an indicator there was a lot of uninkable cards that were there. Undersea had to be one of those, and it just kind of stings and nostrils when it happens to you.
It's difficult to play around everything.
For sure.
You play around Under the Sea by keeping Basil in your hand, then they get you by playing Clarabelle and you have an extra card in hand. So you basically like, well, you need to have it. This card's doing nothing. I have extra Basils for inking. I'd rather just get it out of my hand and make your Clarabelle not do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree, but you're still going to be able to get some more draws with this Donald Duck. I'm not sure if Cisu took the draw there, but I believe Joseph did. As we are going to play for that Clarabelle now, you could sing a You're Welcome here, and that feels...
When this deck wins, it feels so good. And, like, that's why I was saying, it's like, if the Blurple deck has extra ramp, I think it has a favoring, right? Because you have to be able to play enough cards after they reset you, or hope to like do something before they combo you. But if they're able to combo you and then get your hand out and then continue to drawing cards, and you don't have the answer you need every time, like it just every time you miss one step, you get that much farther behind.
Right. And then they can kind of set you up in this long kiss goodnight lock situation where now they're sending your stuff back to your hand, they're sending stuff back to your deck, they're drawing a ton of cards, they're resetting these powerful effects, they're playing Hades, they're gaining a ton of ink, they're singing Under the Sea, and you're just like stuck and you can't really get out of it. So this is kind of where the matchup usually comes to a screeching halt here, as Cisu is going to have to find a miracle. A Monstro would be great if you can coerce your opposition into exerting that Clarabelle, exerting that Donald Duck. Monstro comes in, clears a few characters. Maybe that could be the way to get back in. But just seeing all those cards in Joseph's hand, it still seems like a daunting task.
Yeah, you need to have a lot of cards in hand to make that Monstro really do work too.
Mm-hmm. And the Donald is kind of helping you refuel and gain some cards, but we'll just sail the Azurite Sea and then we'll develop our brain a bit, maybe looking for some kind of answer. Is it? I'll take a. I don't even know. I think I'll take anything. Just a character on the board. I think you still have to continue to add units to the board.
It's looking quite rough for Cisu at the moment.
Yeah. How's he get out of this? I think the answer starts with Monstro.
Genies.
I think Genie into a Monstro or something like that. I think that's the play. Elsa is going to be able to at least remove that Clarabelle and be evasive. So I mean that's a start. You got to start somewhere.
He basically just needs to get some threats in play. Joseph not have any answers in his hand of like 1,000 cards and win, or just like slowly answering cards like he's doing. It still just seems rough.
As we're still gonna fight though. We're not gonna give up. We're not gonna give in. This is the ICL. Things can happen. You never know. As Elsa will just take out that Clarabelle as expected. Belle is in the inkwell, kicking it back on over to Quig, who is in the driver's seat. A lot of cards in hand, and we are gonna bypass the Donald draw again there.
Looks like Cisu has 4 cards. Doesn't want more at the moment. Especially with the Clarabelle in play. It's probably quite easy for Joseph to empty his hand. And if it's not, then the game's probably really bad for Cisu anyways. Yeah, we're just playing under the sea on 1 card. I've done this. It's like you want to get these cards out of your hand. You want to be able to draw more cards. And we have enough plays that this is how it's going to be.
Yeah. I think you might be onto something. So electing not to draw with that screw, just looking really great now. Getting another uninkable card out of hand. I don't think you've inked yet for turn.
I don't think so.
I mean, Tipo here would even be quite nasty. Late game Tipo, ramp another card, and you can continue to draw. And the pressure is mounting hard for Cisu, who is going to ink the John Silver. Seeing one Johnny. Yeah. Man.
2 cards. We went down to only 2 cards that turn. Draw off of the Clarabelle and then draw again off the other Clarabelle 1 more card.
That's rough, man. This is a rough ride. And here it is. The moment that Cisu has, and we're still at 1 lore. So you got that going for you. Even though you are threatening 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 right now. So you can 2 quests right on up out of here that next turn. So this is looking great. Genie is a start. Gain you another card. It's not that monster as well, which would be pretty decent. Yeah, if you had it.
Answering all 3 of them for for it and 2 cards would be pretty good. Like a Monstro's not bad here. But if you don't draw on Monstros and you don't draw a million Hades or have the ability to bounce your Hades back to redo it, like if you're able to elephant your Hades in this matchup, like that really pushes it into your way.
For sure. It just you gotta have it. You gotta have a nice sequence of cards, and they have to come in the correct order. And unfortunately for Cisu, that did not happen. I know Sapphire and Amethyst can match with Sapphire and Emerald. It just requires things to go right, and it requires a lot of stuff to go wrong for Joseph Quigley. Sometimes they just don't get it, and when they don't get it, or you're able to disrupt that shift line, or they're not able to draw the Clarabelle, sometimes they hang out the bottom quarter of the deck. You just get fried, man, and it just feels kind of bad. But that did not happen this time. This is high-level execution here, and this is looking really, really good for Joseph. Not so much for Cisu in this spot, unfortunately. As we're still thinking another Under the Sea feels terrible. I think that's my scoop condition there if we just play that, but it is the Basil instead. As we'll like to send the Rafiki back instead of that Genie. Probably like doesn't want your opponent to get another new card. And certainly it's time to quest. And it looks like everyone's getting loose.
In trying to end this game.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess send to Donald as well. Donald's going to get loose as well, getting all the way up to 10. You have
game and board.
Story on board. Yeah, going to next turn.
Son
2,
of a
4,
gun.
6, 8. I mean, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to fit in, Luke. I'm trying to be a part of it.
You're trying to fit in.
I'm trying to fit in, man. I'm trying to fit in. I heard that Lorthel, we don't like Lorthel, so I don't want to.
We don't like Lorthel possibly, but we don't
Just
like
game?
story either. It's
Okay.
game and play.
Just game and play, game on board.
Game on
The story
board.
on board thing is kind of growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. The lore, he's got lore in place. The story is coming to an end.
He's got lore.
He's got his bookmarks out. The index is done. We're coming up to the final conclusion. We have the back, the cover is closing, something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. But this, whatever you want to say, it's happening right now, live, and you can see
he's locked in for sure. Yeah. He's locked in.
Yeah, he's got a story. He's got a story to tell.
She just hit my monitor with the switch.
A story is made out of lore, says Birdie Lorcana. So maybe. Are you going to attack right there, Luke? Do you need support?
Maybe. I don't know.
As we are just going to get we're going to clear one of the characters, which I think will not break it up completely. I think there's still 10 available.
EA, it's in the lore.
That's pretty good. Is that can we go there with it or no? Probably not. That seems
probably not. Say Electronic Arts,
but don't say Electronic Arts. I'm saying EA.
EA that's their logo though.
Like... but I'm saying like, can you just say it? LORE. It's in the lore. Something like that. No. We'll shop it around.
It's in the lore.
We'll shop it around. We'll keep shopping.
Rafiki enters play.
Rafiki.
It's like a fighting game or something like that. Like...
Rafiki.
Cisu summons Bell. Mystic Healer? Mystic Healer? What's her
Accomplished Mystic
name?
You're gonna mess me up, Luke, man. My brain is so bad. You're gonna mess me up because it's Rafiki Mystic Fighter and his Bell Accomplished Mystic. You're saying Mystic Healer. You're gonna mess me up, man. This is supposed to be good practice. And you're messing it up.
Mystic Healer?
I don't think there's a. I think there's a. No, he's Mystic Fighter.
3-drop version. What's her 3-drop?
Her 3-drop version is the untrained Mystic. I think, if I had to guess, I think it's something like that.
Board is gigantic right now, singing "You're Welcome." What can I say except you're welcome?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Not gonna lie, that was quite good, Luke. I'm impressed.
It was whatever. It was
pretty good.
It was no rock. Rock. I was like, is that who did it? Then I thought his government name. I was like, oh, that's not the Rock. Oh wait, that is the Rock.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah, he didn't change his middle name to the Rock, did he? Because that would.
I don't think so. I think that's just his stage name, but he's Dwayne Johnson. But Dwayne the Rock Johnson is what I think people call him. That's what Hollywood calls him. Anyway.
What the Rock's cooking.
And we're still Stop Chaos in his tracks, and
Oof.
I think that's just. I think we're going overtime here as we're going to quest all the way up. Joseph finishing the drill, playing it all the way through, running through the finish line as we're going to continue to draw with Clarabelle. Cisu continue to fight it out. Monstro here still won't get it done. I think this one might be a bit long in the tooth.
Yeah. I mean, how many cards we got? Monstro only has to take out 1,000 characters that trade with it. Just 3.
Yeah, these stats are quite huge. Monstro's got some giant stats, but they're not that big. You'd have to clear a lot of lore over here. I'm talking, there's a whole... There he is.
Well, let's find out.
Here. He's here. Let's see what you can do, big boy. Full breach.
11 ink. Do we have enough ink to also play...
A bell?
A bell? How much does Monstro cost? 8?
He's an 8.
Oh, no, we don't. We're
you
too
need
short.
You need 14, no, 13? Yeah, can't do it. We'll go full breach. We'll ready the Monstro, and then
Tipo. Then we take out the Basil, and then we into the unknown, the Clarabelle, and he has exactly game in play.
Mm. Yeah.
The book is in play, and he has the story within his grasps. Is that what you want? Is that how you want it to be?
What was that? What was that, man? Like, what was that? Like, what was that? That's it. The story is in his grasp. All right, let's shop that one around. All right, we're not gonna say no. We're gonna say not right now to that one. That can't be better than that one. Can't be better than the freaking
Lortality. That's a good one from YouTube chat. A galore of lore.
dude. That's actually kind of good. Lortality is great.
They will not let you use Lortality if they don't let us use Lorthal. And that's it. Cisu has seen enough.
Sorry, I promise. My bad. I'm so sorry.
Dude, I think my temperature raised by like 5 degrees.
I'm sorry, look, you got me. Story okay, we're not gonna do that. Cut. All right, let's get over to the.
All right. Oh, I should probably unmute myself for you fine folks.
And we are here, gentlemen.
Did Joseph run away?
I'm still here. I'm still here.
He's here. He's here.
Okay.
I guess
I was gonna say after that beating, after that cruel, like I've said it countless times, this deck is toxic. When it wins, it is just not fun to play against at all.
Yeah,
so on that note, how that feels?
He kept 6 game 1, and he was like, "Oh, I thought I almost kept 7." I'm like, "Well, when you kept 6, I knew I was in trouble." So
yeah.
Yeah, that one felt a little bit lopsided. But we're gonna start to our winner, Joseph Quigley, coming in to revenge Habibi getting the 2-0 after the 2-0. So you're back again on your patent pending Sapphire Emerald strategy. You've been playing this pretty much all set from what I understand. Can you just talk about the deck? Okay, I know you've had some guides and some information about it. Can you just talk about any spice that you may have brought to this particular tournament and any unique cards you have in your configuration and what you're looking for playing against Sapphire and Amethyst?
Still playing blue-green, still the deck. I still think it's a perfectly good deck that has fairly even enough matchups into the field. If you hit your lines, and I definitely was fortunate enough to hit the lines very well today, it just works really well. So I'd say the biggest thing I was on today that I haven't been on before is Stop Chaos in its tracks. I apologize. I don't recall the Blown player who got top 16 with this running 4 copies of this. But as soon as I saw that, I felt like, oh, and he knocked off Siago, which was a big one. We're like, okay. I felt that this would be a card that could really boost up green-blue in the meta when it was kind of struggling. And also, I didn't really get to show it off in that match in particular. I had pretty much I was way ahead when I actually cast this card. But it essentially gives you more opportunities to do the most broken thing in this deck, which is shift Clara and sing something powerful. Usually it's You're Welcome, but this essentially is equivalent to You're Welcome. It draws you 2 extra cards, but you also get to remove 2 things of the opponent's board, which is even better if you want it.
Under the Sea and You're Welcome mixed in one.
Kind of, yeah, and it's very strong when you can do that for sure. Otherwise, the only other thing I was on is Donald Duck Focus Flatfoot, which I'm sad because I'm a Pleakley believer, and I still think Pleakley is a valid choice. Don't get me wrong, folks out there. But Donald plays a bit nicer with Baymax, which I was also on today, and I've not showed in the past. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard list. When blue-green does the thing, it's hard to match it, honestly.
Yep, absolutely. And you definitely did the thing today. And there were some times you set up, there was a potential for a Under the Sea Bend in My Will. It's Bend in My Will a card that you have in your deck right now, if you're willing to disclose that information.
I did not run it today. I honestly, I'll be honest, I've been on and off it in my testing. So I'm not sure if I actually forgot it when submitting last night, and I probably would have ran it today, all things considered. And I feel bad because it's on the mat and everything. But I think it's a valid one of, but it's also another high cost and inkable that can potentially risk breaking you. The biggest thing this extra goes with is consistency, where, if you see the lines, it looks like the most broken deck in existence, but sometimes it just dies to itself. It doesn't have the exact lines you need to get there. And the more high cost uninkables you run, the more likely you are to perhaps break yourself a bit. I still think Bend is powerful enough to warrant inclusion, but I also think it's fair enough if you want to play it more conservatively to trade a bit more consistency for power, I guess.
Okay, and it worked out. It worked out quite nice, and you played it to the utmost possible level. And Cisu had to just be on the receiving end of a lot of that, and he was fighting for his life. So I'm gonna kick it over to Cisu really quickly.
Yep.
When you saw that Joseph Quigley was your opponent, and you knew that you were going against a potential Sapphire Emerald strategy, were you confident, or were you kind of a little bit worried because this matchup isn't the best matchup for the Sapphire Emerald strategy?
Oh, I knew I was in trouble immediately, especially playing on the draw. Yeah, this is a matchup that I truthfully don't like. I mean, I like it from the Emerald Sapphire standpoint, but again, I kind of been playing deck roulette this entire format, just playing everything because the entire last rotation I was really only known for playing Emerald Steel, which is fine. I mean, like I love that deck. I will always love my Devoted Heralds. Got my little Diablo right here and everything.
Nice.
But yeah, so like this, I kind of want to just play everything or just be able to play everything. More so from for a metagame perspective, so we can't be as metagamed as we were because we were very predictable going towards the end of the season. So yeah, I've kind of just been playing everything, and as I've played it, I've enjoyed all of the top 4 decks. I played Amber Seal last week, which I ran into another Buzzsaw matchup, unfortunately. Again, as soon as I realized I was playing Joe, I was like, yeah, I know what I'm playing against. But again, he played it perfectly. I do like both of the decks. I think they're fine. They're both probably the 2 best decks in my opinion. That's up for debate for sure. Again, yeah, no, of course. I have your guide and everything, so I was like, let me learn how to play this deck. So yeah, if you don't have Joseph's guide and you want to learn how to play Emerald Sapphire to high potential,
thank you.
That purchase. It's definitely worth it. But anyway, yeah. So as far as Amber or Amethyst Sapphire is concerned, I think it is the best deck. It's just the most consistent deck. You have your ramping cards, you have your drawing cards, and you just have amazing just stats everywhere. Crazy interaction. Kind of why I played it today. I was just instead of playing anything crazy or weird, I was between a couple weird decks, weird aggro decks, just to kind of just play something fun. But I was like, let me just play something just strong and consistent. So going into Milwaukee next week, just being able to just get as many reps on the top decks as possible. I didn't really feel I felt like I was just kind of I ran into a buzzsaw. That's just how this matchup feels, unfortunately. When he was saying, when they see their lines, it's hard to beat that. And that's truly what happened game 1. And then game 2, I felt like I had a little bit more agency. But again, I was very scared of the bend. I figured he was only on 1, at least. I only play 1 personally in my list. So that's kind of what I was banking
Anything
on.
more is greedy for sure.
Yeah, so I was banking on 1. That's why I was electing not to draw off the Perfect Gentleman. I was trying to keep my hand as low as possible, but also my hand was super bricky. Game 1, I had 2 cards in hand, and they both were second stars to the right. And then in that second game, my hand was 1 second star, Rafiki, and 2 hypnotic strength. So I had these crazy bricky hands, which happens. So that's why I was kind of trying to limit, make him not overextend, but just kind of he was not getting as much value off his under the seas. Even his under the seas, he was hitting 2 or 3 cards, and there were some good cards, but there wasn't even in both games. So that was kind of just the way how I was trying to attack the matchup, just based on what I had in my hand, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Yeah, usually there's a lot of questions we would ask, but that one was kind of explanatory of what happened there. And from my perspective, maybe Luke saw something. I mean, he plays a little bit of Sapphire Emerald stuff. I encourage you guys to go back. But anything you got?
He
from
recapped them. He recapped it pretty well there. I mean, we could talk about how oppressive the Emerald Sapphire deck is constantly over and over again. I did say, I was like, oh, why is he playing the other 1-drop here? I'm like, oh, obviously he's just trying to empty his hand out before this Clarabelle display.
Go ahead.
I debated holding it for ink, but I'm just I'm playing it Donald. I'll draw 2 cards anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I was pretty much trying to play around Clarabelle. Like I was saying, I wanted to make him either draw nothing off a Clarabelle or use it Under the Sea on like an underwhelming board. And like both of the boards or the 3 boards that he Under the Sea, it was like Elsa, Basel, like Genie, like, or I think Genie was in both of them. And there was one that I think there was like, you might have underseed like an Elsa, like 1 card or something.
I did undersee one Elsa specifically because I ended up
love
with
that
3
play.
copies. So I had 3 copies in hand in the mid game 2. So I just started firing these things off. And like, I don't need more than 1 in hand at a time.
Yeah, I figured that you just were like flush with them. So I was like, you know what? If he's gonna Under the Sea 1 card, then power to him. And it was just like, you know, I was like, I needed just something to stick at this point.
Yeah,
and then so I was just like, at the point you guys make him have it. So
yeah.
And I think I saw 2 Hades in both games, so I didn't see many Hades, unfortunately. And then I did draw the Monstro, but he came a bit too late, unfortunately.
Way late. I was worried about him for sure.
Yep. In that game too, he came a bit too late, but it's all good. It was fun. It was a good game. Good set.
Yeah, just
But
about one turn.
I personally, I still enjoyed the matchup. I enjoyed both you gentlemen coming through and playing and doing your best. It didn't work out for you this time, Cisu, but it's a long season, man. Freedom Gaming, you guys had a great season last run, and now you can get back in it, and maybe you can turn the tides around. But while we have you here, we always like to give special shout outs, man. So anything that you wanna say, let's kick it with you, Cisu, first, and then kick it over to Joseph for any shout outs or anything special you want to say.
No, of course, just shout outs to the team, just testing, bouncing ideas off everyone. Everything. It's always a good time talking to everyone, even our long lost teammates, unfortunately. I always do shout outs to my wife and my daughter. I know they'll never see this, but shout outs to them as always. And then anyone in Milwaukee next week, if you see me, look for the red, white, and blue. And to those that I don't know, to those that I haven't met, just make sure you come say hi. I love everyone.
For sure. You come say hi to me too. I'll be there, man. Give me
I'm not gonna lie. Like JDZ, I am so excited to finally meet you. Like I know we've missed each other at the games before, but I am so excited to finally meet you in person.
For sure. Come through. Give me one of these.
He's gonna be hiding in the producer or in the casters area.
Nah, we on the floor, baby. We on the floor with it. But I can't wait. It's gonna be an absolute vibe. Same thing for you, Mr. Quigley, Joseph Quigley, the returning champs, coming back in, undefeated so far, 2-0 victory. We'll kick it over to you. Any special shout outs that you have for the world at home watching?
Shout outs to my teammates. Always fun getting ready for these matches with them and tossing and everything. Shout outs to sleeve sponsors on Game TCG and Twin Moon Studios for making this gorgeous mat. I can't get over what a bang up job they did on this mat. I love it so much. Likewise, that's a good idea to say. I'll be in Milwaukee next week, so feel free, everybody, to say hi, and looking forward to seeing you as well. Absolutely.
I will also be giving you a high five, a handshake, and maybe a hug if we can. A little smooch.
Absolutely.
I'm kidding. No, that's a joke.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll be happy about that one, but you know what? I'll welcome it.
we'll make it happen. But gentlemen, as always, I want to thank you both for your participation and both your organizations' participation in the ICL and being back for season number 2. And I'll be excited to see what both your squads are going to do. I think you guys are going to make it deep. We'll see. But we're hopping back to the booth. We're going to get round number 3 set up, man. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see ya.
See ya. Peace.
Good one. Take care.
Yo, check.
Can you get in? Can you get in there?
I'm in. I'm here. I got it.
You weren't able to do it as fast as me, but like I literally have to do nothing. Like
okay.
I literally have to do nothing. My mic is always on there, like for both of these. So you're not gonna beat me. It's literally impossible.
I cannot. Okay, not even if I tried. But I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up. But look, that was fun, man. We haven't had a chance to do this in a while.
Yeah, we haven't done it in a minute. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better next week, so then we'll do it again for sure.
Okay.
Multiple times, I'm assuming as well.
For sure. I'll be here.
Eventually, we're gonna have to allow another guest caster to show up, but it's probably not gonna happen until after the DLC.
Oh, for sure. And if they need to take my spot, I'll sit down. I don't want to, but I'll take some time off if someone needs to get in here.
Down. No.
Okay.
Don't be saying that. Then people are gonna message me and be like, "JDZ said he wants a break, bro. Give him a break. Throw me in, coach. Throw me in."
No breaks, baby. We're locked in. We are laser focused all the way to the finish line, but that is too fun. Now I know Lortality. I think I'm using that. We're coining that. Lortality story is in grasp. I think we do that one too. Both of those. We'll shop both of those around.
You missed the first part. Something about the book was open or something like that. The book is there. It's stories within his grasp. I can't remember.
We'll run it back.
I'm gonna dip out here. I'm gonna let you chit chat with Garrick.
Let's do it.
An amazing time. So you two are gonna take down match number 3.
Important.
Yeah, pretty important here. Like 1-1 tied up. All right, but I'll see the rest of you later. Here comes Garrick and JDZ.
Yo, what up, G Money? What up, Garrick? How you living, big dog?
I am excellent. You know what? What?
Are you rocking a turtleneck right now?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel so flexed on, dude.
It's feeling a little Ivy League out here. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get a little... Listen, why not? Why not throw it on a Wednesday? We're at the ICL. We're feeling smart, distinguished, and yeah, high level, of course. And
I feel so flexed on right now.
No, don't feel that way.
Were you able to catch a little bit of that last match though, Garrick?
I was, and I'll say this: you won't catch me bringing Emerald Sapphire to a DLC, going through that for 12 rounds, playing Blurple at least half of the time, just going to time every match. Not for me.
But the Quickster's built different. They had a little bit of time left.
is built different, and he's also a Quickster.
Yeah.
He can jump into the Speed Force if he needs to. Most definitely. But no, it was a cool match. While you all were doing the interview there, I'm not gonna lie, I was hopping in and watching some other matches. I mean, Kurt Spice was playing. I had to see what was going on there. And then the Flower Farm is also in a tight match with the Loungers right now. So lots of cool things going on in the ICL tonight.
We need to get like one of those little tickers that go across the bottom that give the updates. We need like a dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, with like an update that blasts across the screen on the main game, because I love the fact that all the teams are playing at the same time. And I think that is really
news.
I think that is super, super duper neat. But this is it, Garrick. This is a game number 3 on ICL on a Wednesday. We got ETB Chris riding that anchor position. It all comes down to this. Michael Maloof trying to get it done and trying to win this thing on the play for the Freedom Gaming organization. This is the first game of the season. Starting 1-0. Much better starting 0-1. Tell you that. If you're trying to make a back-to-back run, it starts here. Championship run starts here, Garrett.
And it looks like we have some Emerald Sapphire yet again.
Uh-oh. Emerald Sapphire back at it again. If ETB Chris is playing the patent-pending Amethyst and Steel strategy, which he's known to played it a ton last season, this might be an uphill climb. I like the Emerald and Sapphire versus Amethyst Steel. People say I'm crazy, but I don't know, man. I think the matchup is nice as Mulan is down. Wait a minute.
Could be Amber Steel. Now, this is a matchup that I've played quite a bit over the past weeks.
Talk to me about it.
Getting ready for potentially bringing Amber Steel. I'm not locked into any deck for the DLC right now, but have been putting my paces into this deck. It doesn't feel as bad as people are making it out to be. A couple Fire the Cannons and a Strength of the Raging Fire, and we're out of here. Let's call it a day.
I'm people, man. I'm people when it comes to Amber Steel, and I'm telling you right now, I just can't imagine myself doing it. Just like you said, not going with the Emerald and Sapphire. Amber Steel just seems like it's going to be a big target. I don't want to be a big target. I want to be a small target. I want to be hard to hit. But everyone's looking for the Amber Steel deck. They're going to be ready to play it, and I think it's going to be an uphill climb unless you just built so different.
If any deck has a target on its back, it's got to be the Blurple strategy, which is why I think things like the Dogs and Amber Steel still have a decent chance. But we'll see if Chris is able to get into a Fire the Cannons here, but not put under a ton of pressure, because if you didn't notice last turn, there was no Tipo, there was no Sail the Azurite Sea. We went on a Vision of the Future as Clarabelle goes into the hand for Michael, and another Triple Daisy. Can we hear the air horns?
We do not have access to the air horns here on the ICL, but I would be straight blasting them off right now as you have to do a nigh impossible task of missing a ramp and being accosted by triple Daisy, Duck, Donald's date getting active out here. Feels bad.
And you're still quite a ways away from that shift Clarabelle. It's not happening on the next turn. If Chris can just quest with these daisies for a couple turns, it might be all she wrote. As going triple daisy feels obviously really good. It used to, I think, feel better in the previous format to do just 1 or 2 daisies. Right now, it's kind of a risky proposition with all of these decks out here that are not playing as many actions as they used to as Tiana comes down onto the board.
But you do got a line here. You set yourself up. If you got the shift Baymax,
under the sea went to the bottom. There's the Baymax.
Okay,
so we
know
you
got
it's
a
coming.
Piece of the puzzle. If you got the under the sea in hand already, you can go for the shift. You can shift it. You can ink a card, shift the Baymax, complete the puzzle, seeing the under the sea right there, and you're so back. If you got it, but you got to have it right now. 1 under the sea already gone, Garrick. You saw that go to the bottom of the deck with the daisy trigger.
Most
I think you
certainly.
need it or you lose the game.
Do you have it? If not, you can remove a solid 2 lore off of the board. We're exerting. It looks like it is under the sea. Under the sea.
Another air horn. So we got back-to-back air horns happening here very early on as both of these Illumineers are getting loose, busy, and active. And that is how the Amber Steel deck goes down more often than not. As you have the Baymax, you're able to shift it in. You're able to see the under the sea. And now Chris has a long hill to climb to get back into this thing with this very active 5/5 Quest for 2 character on board with 2, count them 2, possible shift lines available. This is looking gruesome here, Garrett.
The Riptide came in and took those characters under the sea as Rhino comes down. We're going to try and fight our way back onto the board, but like I was saying at the beginning of this match, fire the cannons is so important in this matchup. You have to get rid of those shift targets to prevent that shift under the sea. Chris didn't have it, and we see the result of that.
Yeah, and it might have to come down to that altar. I don't know. You play a lot of Amber Steel this set. I think when you're going in the blind, if you don't know what your opponent's playing and you know you're going to be on the draw, what are you doing with fire the cannons? Are you hard looking for them? If you got them, you keep them, or you
fire the cannons 100%. I want a 3-drop. I want a singer I want a singer for strength, and I want fire the cannons.
But if you don't have it, are you looking for it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sending. If you don't have fire the cannons in your hand, you're sending all 7.
Not necessarily. I mean, if I have a 3-drop and a strength of raging fire, I'm probably keeping those. But it's tough. You definitely want fire the cannons for situations like this. I think the card is just so good right now in those first couple turns, especially going on the draw. If you can like go Aurora Quest, play Mulan, and then fire the cannons, play another 1-drop on 2. That's like really insane to do against Blurple, against the Emerald Sapphire strategy, even against things like Amethyst Steel, getting rid of those Captain Hooks. It's just such a powerful card right now, which is why I'm running 4 in my list. It's just you just need it.
You got to have it, I think. And it's really important what you're saying, because had Chris had he's probably, this game is not over, but we kind of see the writing is kind of going onto the wall. I mean, the chalk is in hand, the person is on the wall, they're writing something down, but you don't see what they're writing just yet. So the writing's not completely on the wall, but had there been a fire to cannon somewhere in that first amalgamation of 14 cards there between the altar and the cards that you played, and popped one of those cards, you probably win this game.
Yeah.
It's completely different. It's a different, you pop one of those Clarabelles, you pop that Bobby or something, and you got a different situation. But unfortunately for you, it didn't happen. And that's the format, man. That's the game we're playing. Do you got it or don't?
Yeah.
If you don't, shove off.
Even on 3, I would be like, if I had Strength of Raging Fire, it's probably just worth to play it over like Tiana. Obviously, I don't know what is in Chris's hand, but like getting rid of the ability to sing Under the Sea at all times is just so important when you're playing against this deck. Obviously, we just saw the Pete go into the Inkwell. That's an amazing way to stifle that. But we have Shift Baymax, double Shift Clarabelle on the board, and now we're just getting way too tall, and we're wider than the Amber Steel deck. So this just might be all there is to this match. Like you were saying, they're writing it on the wall, and I'll tell you what they're writing: G followed by another G.
Yeah.
Go next.
Uppercase or lowercase? Like what are we doing there? Is it cursive?
Lowercase GGs, because this is just game number 1.
Okay.
Amber Steel is going to be on the play, on the approach in the next game.
Right.
They were on the draw here and had an explosive start. If it was just a little bit more explosive and had like a cannonball that you could fire out of a cannon, I think it would have been wrapped up.
An absolute dynamic situation. Triple Daisy is not a lot of Illumineers cross swords with a Triple Daisy start and live to tell the tale. Usually it's a lot of GG go next Triple Daisy complaints. That's a story that people tell that's a post tournament tale that people will share with each other. Yeah, my guy, I got Triple Daisy. Oh, RIP, pour one out to you. But this time you were able to overcome that massive opening from Chris. And it's going to be like that a portion of the time.
But hold on, Chris,
wait a minute,
at 11 is able to establish that Nala, which, unless a Hades comes down, will be questing for 3, thanks to the power of Pete Games referee. And you need to challenge into this Pluto now. But we have the John Silver.
Oof. That is just the rim breaker right there. As you're going to be able to make that Nala reckless. And then Clarabelle is going to get her challenge on. I don't hate that challenge at all. Beautiful enchanted Clarabelle. Just get the Pluto off the board. Get that lore off the board. Clarabelle will take 5 pieces of damage here, I believe. If I recall correctly, I think we're grabbing that dice right now. Unless I missed something. No, we didn't. We're setting it up. Beautiful enchanted. How many enchanted Clarabelles do you have?
1.
More
what
than
about
me.
you?
You got 100. You have 100% more enchanted Clarabelles than I do, because I have 0. Okay. If anyone's looking for a little charity, okay, charity starts at home. Hook your boy up. Okay, I'll take one.
I was lucky enough to open one out of my 2 boxes I opened of Shimmering Skies. I got 2 enchanteds. Here comes Tiana and Doc, which is not a bad way to go here. You're gonna get 1 lore unless you want to get rid of that Clarabelle on the board, which might not be too bad. If you have Strength of a Raging Fire, you could also opt to Sing. But the John Silver being a 5/5 is really annoying. That is the card that kind of slams the door on the Amber Steel strategy a lot of the time.
And your Nala is so, usually there's a world where you can kind of clear a few of the targets off to protect your reckless character, at least for a time, but you just don't have it. And Nala getting reckless, being able to just slam herself through her madness into a character doing no damage, having that 0 comes up so huge sometimes. It's just a plus value there. And now Pete Game referee electing to potentially get after one of these Clarabelles. That willpower being so high is just also a problem for this matchup. This is looking bad. When you see your Amber Steel player challenging, it's over. Okay, you know you got him.
Yeah, unless it's a aggro versus aggro or aggro versus mid-range type strategy. If the Amber Steel deck is challenging into a control deck, it's like Michael said, let me quest before I even draw, because I just want to get on out of here and get to the next game, as he did have let me clear my throat, story on board. You know, I will say, JDZ, I like it. I like it.
And you're with it?
Yeah.
I personally,
what's Luke gonna do? Fire me?
Luke, personally,
do that, please.
Personally, I'm kind of, it's growing on me. It's growing on me. Lorthality is like being kind of up there, but obviously you can't say that just because of the implication of we don't want to be anything that's gruesome or dark in any way.
The
story on board, lore in place. Okay. The story.
How about we're going to the next chapter here because it's game 2. Thoughts?
This next chapter, we're moving on to the next, but the next chapter is that seems so.
We're turning the page on this game.
There it is. I like that one.
We're workshopping it.
I like that one. You're cooking here. I'm gonna write these down. These are great. We're turning the page on this game. But what do you say when your opponent is presenting but not quite there yet? Is that just story on board? We got to work that one. I think story on board is a little too direct. I think we gotta.
I don't know. It's tough. We got to come up with something. That's for sure.
The tale is old as time. Okay, no, he's got the time. He's got the story. The soothsayer. No, I don't know, man. I'm tired, man. I can't figure this out right now. But we're gonna
the ink is being cast.
The ink is... Oh man, the story is concluding. Oh, he's about to quest out.
I mean, that's simple. That's clean. Please.
Maybe.
Oh, baby, don't go.
But that was a very fast and furious matchup there, as ETB Chris is now going to be on the play, on the approach with the Amber Steel deck. And this is when this deck is at its absolute best. When this deck is to go first, this is why you probably would take a deck like this to any tournament you're going to play, because you're going to go first theoretically 50% of the time, unless you're me, and 0% of the time. But you know what I'm saying? You're going to go first at least 50% of the time. And when you get to go first, you're at such an advantage that you can just come out there and just hit the gas pedal and get out of there before your opponent even knows what happened, and just steal a lot of games.
Yeah, for sure. As an Amber Steel player, I love to start off with Aurora in this matchup. I think that just the possibilities that she opens up for you are so tantalizing, and like just something that you want to have available to you. And it really trips out your opponent sometimes, because there are so many different things you could do. You could just simply go Tiana on 2. You could go free, another free Aurora, and pay 1 for Tiana on 3, or free Mulan, pitch a Lilo. There's so many different options. You can hand fix. It's just such a great card and a great opener with the Amber Steel deck. But we'll see what Chris opts to do here. It's just Daisy just feels so scary to play. No. Yeah, it's just, if you don't want to give your opponent extra cards in this format. Especially
like just like that last matchup we saw, the Daisy Duck did give Michael the Baymax that sent them their demise there, as Daisy Duck will be the start here on number 1. And also a good thing about that Aurora that you were talking about earlier, in this matchup, there's not a lot of ways that it can be accosted here in turn number 1. I don't think they play too much Basil in this strategy right now. So they go Bobby on 1, or they go Clarabelle on 1. It's just not strong enough to clear the Aurora. So you could potentially get a second Aurora activation, and that's where it gets real messy. Yeah, it's just so very safe and so very powerful. But we have no 1-drop on the side of the Emerald Sapphire player. So the runway is clear for Daisy, but that big prize cannot be understated, as Lilo is going to come down onto the board here. Another 2 Quester. Let's see what we get. It's a Clarabelle light on her hooves. So now we have to keep that in mind if we are Chris. If we see a little Clarabelle come down, the clumsy one, we need to take care of that as soon as possible. By any means necessary. I think I think that's a very a clean path to victory, is engaging with your opponent's shift lines. Michael Maloof got some spice in there. We see the Mother Gothel going down to Inkwell for the Sail the Azurite Sea inking. But I think being able to just negate those shift lines, I think, is so critically important, while being able to continue to expand your board and questing at the same time. If you can stop the Baymax from accosting you, if you stop the Clarabelle from shifting on you, you're probably going to have a clean path to victory. Yeah, I totally agree. I think if you have 2 pieces of removal on the Amber Steel deck, you're feeling really good. If you have 3, it's almost impossible to lose in this matchup. But you need it to line up right for you. You know, that's how these matchups typically go. You need the answers and you need the threats to line up correctly into each matchup. And that's a great thing about Disney Lorcana, is we don't have any quote-unquote dead cards in the deck in the form of something that is just a resource and that's it. All of the cards in the deck are playable in some form or another. So using your uninkable count, using your entire 60 to have game into every deck in the format is really important. So the deck building is just so high level, as the lady's going to come down, put another Daisy. So we don't have the removal quite yet. Could be setting up to Sing Strength of the Raging Fire next turn, though. Possibly, as you feel your opponent, and the Under the Sea going to the bottom of the deck again. That's a great sign. You realize your opponent does not have access to Shift and Sing right now, so you're feeling pretty confident leaving that Clarabelle alone, unless they place another Clarabelle on board, but they can do that next turn anyway. So I still think if you have the Shift Baymax in your hand, you send it and just start getting some of this lore off the board while you can. Inking and John Silver in the process. What do you think about that? playing the Donald. Ooh,
Yeah.
that feels bad.
Putting the Donald Duck out there. If I see Donald Duck coming down for this deck, it is there's a smile on my face. It does put a smile on my face because I am the deck that needs I'm putting cards onto the board so quickly, and I don't have a lot of card draw in my deck. It's really just Mulan, and she's cycling, and Doc. So seeing a Donald Duck really, really makes me happy because it puts additional cards in my hand. Of course, it does put a threat out there that can help Sing Under the Sea, but as long as you manage everything else, the Donald Duck's only challenging for 2, and he's giving you cards. So he goes perfectly with Daisy. He's a perfect gentleman, if you will.
I think that's the lore, man. Maybe that's the date. He took her on the date, and that's what happened. We got Strength of Raging Fire to clear up that Clarabelle. So now you're keeping the shift lines off. You're also keeping the Baymax Under the Sea play off, and you have this Donald Duck. So this is just brutal for Michael in this spot, as you maybe you were telegraphing that you had a potential shift Under the Sea play. You don't have it anymore. And this game might just be the writing is being plastered on the wall the other way, I think.
On the other chalkboard, on the opposite side of the classroom, we can see that Chris is writing a little story, but this is how the matchup goes. It's very polarizing. It feels like sometimes there are really close matches, but one deck most of the time just slams the door on the other and completely shuts them out. We do have a Donald Duck trigger here. Chris can draw an additional card here, as can Michael.
And Chris does have the script is being written. No, that's not good.
The first draft is being drafted and sent to the editors as we speak.
That's not good. That's not good. Close the book. Trying to close the book on the game. That might work. Close in the story. We're done. The credits are starting to roll. No story.
We're writing the epilogue right now. The director's cut is. What is happening? Okay. I think maybe Michael had put an additional card in his hand that he should not have. We had knowledge that Under the Sea was at the bottom of the deck, so we're shuffling to remedy the first error, but we're taking the Under the Sea out and setting it to the side so we know to put it back at the bottom.
Shout out to the judges.
I believe that's what's happening.
I love that. I love that that's something that is happening, and it looks like we are going to be able to get that rectified. And a lot of judges and a lot of players may miss that as going underneath the deck does, should be tracked. And sometimes things happen where you have to shuffle your deck. Well, if you send stuff to the bottom of your deck as a part of a card or an effect, and then you just shuffle it, then that's kind of ruining the game, I think. So I think that's a heads up play from the judges and also the players as well. Mistakes do happen, but I'm glad they get fixed in a correct and expedient manner. Shout out to the judges.
For sure. So I'm wondering if Chris, did he draw a card? Maybe. I knew he had one in his hand at the end of his turn. I can't tell if there are 2 cards there or not in that pile, but.
Oh, this game is absolutely over. So I mean, we can maybe unless you got double, you're welcome, but that's just gonna exacerbate the situation. You never give up. Prepare to land attitude. Prepare to win attitude. As we're going to, you're welcome to give some cards to the aggro player.
Yeah, sending the lady back into the deck. Notably, the lady is a 3-cost card, so can sing Strength of a Raging Fire. Heads up, choice there by Michael.
And not giving up. You have a ton of cards in hand, but unfortunately, you don't have the ink to get there. And we did see that those daisies did give double TPO. But that's just still very slow. You won't be able to get there in time. If you had another turn, potentially you could TPO and then do something cool there. But I just think it might be a bit too long in the tooth. As we're resolving it, you're welcome. Both players are just drawing 2 cards here.
Another one. You called it.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do in these sticky situations to give yourself a chance to come back. But it's super negative tempo, and it is, again, fueling the hand of the Amber Steel player, which is exactly what they want to see.
Yeah, you could easily play 4 cards next turn as well, without an Under the Sea as a threat to oppose you, unless you can ink. I don't know if Michael inked for turn just yet, but maybe you can ink and reveal another 1-cost character to set up that shift line. Potentially, you can get that going.
Should be able to ink this turn.
Because you played Donald last turn. Ink a card, play a 1-cost. You need to have a 1-cost here. Got to have a 1-cost.
Nothing.
We don't got it. I guess you didn't absolutely need the 1-cost, but you really could have used the 1-cost character there, the shift of Baymax to have the Undersea approach available. Pete here would be great, but it doesn't quite slam the door.
Clarabelle, Contented Wallflower goes into the hand, and then Mother Gothel as well. We're going to 17 here.
Ugh. That Mother Gothel is a spicy include. It will be live and in full effect next turn, but it might be a little too late here, as the lady is going to come on through, bring a Lilo with her, inking strength, sowing a shine of strength, and pass it on over with a ton of lore in play. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pieces of lore coming your way as story has been reestablished on the pages from the Inkwell. I don't know, man. We got to figure this thing out.
Keywords.
Ink story, end of the game. As that's going to be a GG, as Michael's seen enough. Couldn't get it done. You need it. You need the lines. You got to hit them, especially when you're on defense. When you're on the draw, you have to hit them. You need it to happen, and it just did not happen. Did they miss ramp on that one as well? No, they hit ramp, but it just was a little too late.
Yep. Not able to get into that shift line. The strength of a Raging Fire was able to remove that Clarabelle, and that really spelled the beginning of the end for Michael, but will be on the play here. Let's keep in mind, game number 1 did miss ramp, still ended up winning the game because those daisies were able to just provide enough fuel to the hand and the right cards in the right sequence to get Michael over the finish line. So hopefully Chris is able to find some of that early removal and take care of those little 1-cost characters and those shift targets so things don't get too out of hand. If you're on Chris's side, if you're Michael, you want to get that 2/3 Clarabelle down, that Contented Wallflower. That cannot be hit by Fire the Cannon. Strength of a Raging Fire is really the only way to get rid of that.
I think if I'm Michael, I'm prioritizing the Baymax giant robot. I'm looking for that Baymax. I want the Baymax. I need a Bobby. I need to ramp. I need to shift this Baymax. And at a minimum, we can at least shift and engage on something to take some lore off immediately, or potentially set up a shift line available. So Bobby, Tipo, shift Baymax is what I want to do. Seeing Under the Sea as fast as I can, or at least get a nice Under the Sea off, and hope that I can stabilize from there. Get to the big, just like you did in game number 1. Those lines are available to you when you're on the draw, but you got to find them. Can you get it done? Or ETB Chris will have inevitability. A lot of his character quests for 2, and there's a lot of them in the deck, and you can just find them, get them down, quest them, win the game, and you're out of here. So here it is, game number 3. Who's going to get it?
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't really feel that bad to see a Baymax on the board if you have the right answers on the side of the Amber Steel player. Sometimes you can just go wide enough and hit him with a hefty strength of a Raging Fire. But again, that Under the Sea is always something you need to keep in mind. The Rhino into Shift Rhino isn't terrible sometimes, especially if you have 2 of the 1-cost in hand. You can challenge into the Exerted Baymax and not lose your Rhino, but there are answers to it. It's not always the worst thing in the world to see the Baymax come down. But yeah, Chris is going to need those early answers for sure.
For sure. And we got a big altar coming in from Chris's side. I didn't see how many, from Michael's side. I didn't see how many Chris sent back. But now we got a game, though, on the play, on the draw. I think this might be a different matchup than the last time. Now that Chris, the cat's out of the bag for what Michael's trying to do. Now you have the ability to potentially save those Fire to Cannons or save those Strength of Raging Fire that you didn't have in that game number 1. So we got a different little matchup here. More information. Michael has new things to look for. Who's going to get it done on a Wednesday? ICL. Let's get it.
Yeah, I think in the blind, maybe you'd rather be the Emerald Sapphire player. What do you think?
On the blind, I think I love, if I'm going first on the blind, I'd rather be Emerald Sapphire because they can do their thing a little bit more consistent. Well, not, I mean, Amber Steel obviously going to be Amber Steel, but
Yeah.
in the blind, but in the known, Emerald Sapphire gets significantly worse. I think it goes down, down, down because a lot of their plays are very telegraphable. They have the shift set up. Obviously, they're trying to empty their hand. Obviously, they're trying to shift Clarabelle. You stop from happening, you're probably going to win. Obviously, they're trying to sing under the sea. It's very obvious what they're trying to do once the cat is out of the bag. But a lot of times, you can't prepare for everything in the blind. As Clarabelle's out on 1.
Yeah, I think I'd rather see Clarabelle here than Bobby, because if you can TPO on 2, you can shift onto the TPO and have the Clarabelle available to shift as well later on the next turn. As Chris starts off with Daisy on turn 1 yet again.
Nice little Daisy opening. You were able to survive Daisy early on in round number 1. Can you survive again? As you do find the TPO. So the pieces of the puzzle are starting to align as Clarabelle gets a cheeky little quest in for 1. Gaining that little piece of lore. Maybe it might come up huge.
Yeah, every lore counts. You want to make sure that when you're questing, it is a quote-unquote free one. You won't get punished too awful hard on a crackback. There are a lot of different ways to get punished. If you're playing against Amethyst Steel, for example, you have to consider that they could have the Madam Mim. So questing in the face of things sometimes might not be the brightest idea, but against the Amber Steel deck, there's not a lot that a single Daisy can do. There's not a ton of combat tricks that these decks are typically running that can take advantage of the exerted 1-2 Clarabelle here. As Chris is in the tank a little bit, we're going to ink Pluto. We have the Troubadour coming down onto the board, but still no Fire the Cannons.
Didn't have it. Truby Tuesday can't sing that Strength of Red Fire a bit early, so that could be some good value there.
Yeah.
But maybe we can, just like you said, we have them. Another Clarabelle, and you're able to get the rare and indigenous Clarabelle draw against the aggro player. You love to see that as Clarabelle Contented Wallflower doing her thing. And now you have 2 powerful shift lines available. This is where you probably can't afford to quest anymore. You probably just knock it off and hope for the best with your Clarabelle potentially.
Yeah, you definitely don't quest with Clarabelle. I guess you could with TPO if you want to. But going for the quest on the Clarabelle, I mean, it's a risky move. But then again, you have the 2-3 set up. The Chris getting out of this situation would need Fire the Cannons plus another character plus sing Strength of Raging Fire onto the Contented Wallflower to remove both Clarabelles regardless. So maybe questing here isn't too much of a negative. Right. Because the odds that your Clarabelles both remain on board are about the same either way. I think you need that exact line pretty much to take care of this. As Nala comes down,
right.
Let's see.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. That quest, and that just shows that Michael it's very in tune with the matchup. We do get it, but I think you are absolutely correct on that quest. Gaining that lore, I think it's going to be important. But if you got the fire here.
It looks like we're just going to double challenge. If the Strength of Raging Fire was there, that would have been massive for Chris, but didn't have all the pieces. Had one of them, which was very important, I think. Putting the Under the Sea off at least an additional turn here if the Clarabelle does come down and is shifted.
But they still got to have it though. You've done the setup, but you still have to have the large Clarabelle. You also have to have an inkable card, and you also have to have it right now. So there is a world where Michael doesn't have it, and then you're going to be still in trouble here. As this is a great spot for ETB Chris to turn this corner and get back into the driver's seat as you're playing on the draw, and you're playing 2 inks, so you didn't get it. We're going for a vision quest here. Vision of the future to look for something else. You didn't have the big Clarabelle in hand. That would have been devastating to shift and challenge one of these characters off the board and just have that stats, but you just didn't get it. We got a game, Garrett.
Yeah, most definitely do have a game here. Really nicely played by Chris here in the early game to contest those shift lines. I wonder maybe if Michael saw that his Clarabelle wasn't doing much other than taking one character off the board this turn and potentially being removed next turn. Like if you leave the Troubadour up or something, maybe just wanted to vision, find something that he could play for 3, shift Sing Under the Sea next turn.
That could be a possibility. Maybe looking for a also could be looking for a improvise. I know they can't play that card from time to time too. We saw that happen here on the ICL. Someone's playing improvise and an Emerald and Sapphire strategy. You can improvise a Clarabelle, take down the Daisy Duck, and still be relatively safe for a crackback. But this is, and we got the Clarabelle there down to the Inkwell. So maybe got another one.
Yeah, there's the second Clarabelle. So if we have the second shift Clarabelle, we can shift next turn, Sing Under the Sea. But you got to think, if you wanted to Sing Under the Sea on this turn, you just don't quest. Which makes me think he didn't have it, right?
But even if you did quest or I'd bring that Clarabelle in. I come in, I'm hitting somebody, and then you're going to force your opponent to do a giant spread, and then you won't be able to sing because I'm taking the Troubadour's gone.
Yeah, Troubadour would have to go there. Yeah,
right. And then you're on your way back. So I think you didn't have it, but you inked it. So you grabbed it to put it in ink. I'm not sure. Maybe he's got it all along. Maybe there is a play where you go for the shift Clarabelle Under the Sea, and you're just mega braining us all, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, really interesting decision to quest with the Tipo and the Clarabelle. We'll have to ask him about that. Giving up those potential cards, because I got to think the only way you're questing there is if you don't have Under the Sea in hand. Because if you don't quest there, you guarantee yourself that you can sing it unless your opponent has 2 pieces of removal. So you're forcing your opponent to have it at that point. But instead, you just let your opponent have 1 piece of removal instead of 2. So I got to think Michael didn't have it there.
Yeah. Maybe he's got it now. There was a vision of the future involved in there, and there were 2 cards being drawn with the Clarabelle Contented Wallflower and the draw you have for turn. So if you didn't have it then, there's a world you have it now. So ETB Chris has to be careful. How much do you play into this thing? Do you force him to have it? Do you say, show me your move, show it to me now if you got it, show it? Or do you play it safe and hold back?
It really depends on what is in the hand. Here, Tiana, I think it's asking the question, and the question is, do you have Under the Sea? I think Michael kind of maybe projected a little bit that he didn't have it, so maybe Chris feels a little bit better here as 2 Donald Duck Perfect Gentlemans enter the hand for Michael. We'll see if the shift Sing Under the Sea is here. Opted for the Mulan on that turn. I'm curious to know if the Rhino was the card drawn off the Mulan. If not, playing Rhino doesn't feel horrible there. There's piece number 1. I don't think he has it.
You slam if you had it. The thing is slam. This is a no nonsense, straight up send it if you got it kind of situation. And I don't think you got it because that thing is super ultra slammed on the board right now. And those characters are exerted so fast and they're under the deck so quick. You don't got it. Maybe it's the you're welcome and you're pondering. You're welcome. I'm thinking about. I'm pondering you're welcome here, but I'm definitely slamming it under the sea for sure.
I think it's just challenge Nala. If you have your welcome, you do it next turn. Get rid of the Tiana and challenge in. Again, this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. This is a really, really close one still.
Oh, we got a great game. This is a great game so far.
Damage into the Daisy Duck. It's a question for sure.
Yeah, I think it might be worth it because you might be getting set up with a Tiana lock next turn. If you have a 1-cost character, I'm for sure slamming that as well. Looks like Chris has 1 card in hand available, so Clarabelle will not be able to trigger. So you don't get any value there, but 5/6 stat line is quite good. If you go character sing strength, you're so out of here. Now, do you have it? You're putting yourself in a do you have it kind of spot. No, you don't have. You only have 2
only
cards.
2 cards in hand. Yeah. Unless one of those 2 cards is Doc. I didn't see what went in the hand there.
I missed it as well. And we're just getting these glimmers moving for another pretty powerful quest, getting up to 12. Tiana is established.
You have a
And
Rhino
a
Sven. Yeah, ready that Daisy Duck for sure. Sven, also a card that's not going to be hit by Under the Sea unless the Wombo combo comes in. That heads held high.
Mm-hmm. But this is you need the Under the Sea again. I think if you have another vision, you rip it and you look for it. I think you get to that spot where Pete is going to start coming down and really cleaning your clock a bit. So you need to look for something to happen. I think Under the Sea still is your primary objective right now, if you have it.
We could see a Baymax shift. We do. Now we can ink and pay for the Tiana and challenge in with both characters here. But we might be singing. Oof. I don't know how I feel about that. I think maybe you just ink and challenge.
I don't like it at all. Maybe I could be wrong. You are saving a little bit of damage on your Clarabelle. You're saving a bit of lore. Maybe nah. I think
maybe maybe you have a play that's just better here for the 3 ink. We'll see, but you're giving the Amber Steel deck more cards
juice
in their hand when you know I don't have Under the Sea.
Yeah. You're hoping for the Under the Sea, but yeah, just getting that. Maybe just ink the You're Welcome and pay the Tiana fee and clear the Tiana, then clear another character. Going after, we're doing another one
too.
Whew.
That's
dangerous.
Here.
That's dangerous. This is dangerous. Michael's looking for some card draw of their own. Maybe you're trying to dig for the Under the Sea, but this is a lot of cards here. You're basically resetting the entire aggro player's hand here sitting at 12. This is a dangerous game, but Michael likes to live on the wild side. Like to be a little dangerous. I like a little danger.
Yeah. Ugh. I laugh in the face of danger, as Simba would say.
Man. I'm scared, man. As we got another 2-piece coming in. That's 5 cards. You're going to get a draw here. Pretty hefty draw with Clarabelle.
Do we have something to play with this 3 ink?
Let's see it.
We don't. No. We just wanted to get cards out of our hand and draw with Clarabelle. So that certainly gives you the option gives you a higher chance of finding the Under the Sea, but can be punished by Pete Games referee. We know Pete is in the deck, but you did remove 4 lore, but provided your opponent with a... And there it is! No. Daisy!
Not like this, Daisy. Daisy just rocking the rim with a powerful dunk Under the Sea, sent it away. Everything you could have wanted and more. Out of here.
Yeah.
I'm telling
That's at least 1 copy. He drew a significant amount of cards on that turn, though. So using the You're Welcomes instead of paying to challenge the Tiana, still really an interesting decision there. Because you clear the same amount of lore either way and keep an on-demand answer in hand in the form of You're Welcome for this upcoming turn for Unexerted 2 questers.
For sure. I will concur with that. And also you keep your opponent's resources limited. I think the You're Welcome giving the aggro player more cards. Like you said, as an aggro player, you love drawing cards from your opponent's giving you cards. So you're all about it. And just giving them 4 fresh cards, you're gonna give them the peace, give them the strength. Like if you play another character here, sing a Strength of Radiant Fire, like this position is gone. Like there's nothing left, man, and it's going to be really hard to recover from this spot. They don't have it.
Yeah. So we're
all in.
Up. Yeah, we're up and active. We can sing this Under the Sea, but we also have enough ink, granted, if we have an inkable in hand, to play it, and it looks like we're just going to do it.
We got another one. Michael had the Under the Sea, and Chris, now you have to be tilting because the Daisy sent one to the bottom of the deck and you had another one the entire time. And that is another massive Under the Sea. Ain't heard no bell, says Michael, who has these very established 2-quested characters in play. Is it too late though, Garrick? Is it too far gone? Can you turn this thing around at 16?
16 is a really, really tough mountain to climb. But with cards like Basil, with cards like John Silver, it is possible for this Emerald Sapphire deck to lock the board out for just a couple turns and completely turn that corner and cruise to the finish line. It's definitely a possibility. You have to be afraid of that if you're Chris, but you do have the cards in hand. Thanks to those, you're welcomes to put down multiple characters onto the board. So that requires multiple answers, more than just John Silver. And we already seen 2 Under the Caesar out of this game. Plus 2 your welcomes are out of this game. And Michael, not a lot of cards in hand.
I'd love to see a John Silver come down on that turn if I'm Michael, to get him set up, get him real active and proactive already, instead of using him as a answer to something, because this could happen as we got 2. Lorthel is established. I can't. No more Lorthel. Okay. The grand finale of the story. The Arthur. I quit, dude.
Game's on board.
Game's on board. That's it, dude. We tried it. Game is in play.
Game is
inbound.
Gonna happen, maybe.
What do you think about that Donald Duck coming in this position, though? As ETB Chris is thinking if they want to draw with the Donald Duck, it looks like we got maybe a potential Miss Donald trigger, perhaps, which would.
I don't think so. Nothing has been done at this point, right? Like, Chris should be able to draw if he wants to.
Yeah, Chris should. But if hypothetically, if Michael drew for turn and did not announce the Donald trigger, I don't think Michael would be able to go back and draw, but Chris would be able to go back and draw in that situation. But I don't know if that's. I can't hear what the players are saying. I'm just making wild accusations and assessments, speculating madly like a madman. I have no clue what they're saying.
Yeah. To your question, the Donald Duck play, Chris is going to draw a card from Donald. If you don't have the answer in your hand, playing Donald is smart. Like, it's something you have to do. It digs deeper into your deck to find that John Silver or that Basil. So I think it was a wise decision as Hades, the Infernal Schemer, comes down, getting rid of that Nala. Interesting here.
I like it. And we're going to go ahead and get a mighty quest in. This is going to send all the way up to, what are we at? 2, 4, 6, 7. You're at 10 with 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 coming back. So you're almost in Lorthality range. You're 1 shift Clarabelle away from having story of your own in the pages of the archives.
Yep. We are passing and drawing 2 off of Clarabelle. So game is not on board for Michael. That keeps the door just wide enough open for Chris here to make a play. What you want to see is several characters come down for Chris. Hopefully a couple of them quest for 2. What you don't want in your hand is like Rhino, Pluto, Sven, because you're cooked. But Sven would be pretty good here. You need to establish, I think, multiple, and there's the Rhino. So if this is a 2 quester, it is
resisted.
That's what you want to see.
Resistance is futile. And you need to fade another Clarabelle now. If you got to shift Baymax, you got to fade the Clarabelle, you got to fade the Baymax. Any of those cards.
Baymax, Clarabelle, the game is over. But Chris put himself in the best position he could to end it here. As we have 4, it is.
Shift the Baymax.
That's gonna be game.
Wow, what a match! What a match, man! What a game! What a match!
No Strength of a Raging Fire the entire game 3 there for Chris, as we're going to head on into the interview booth as Freedom Gaming is able to take down the reigning defending champions.
That was a tight game.
I'm getting over there. I'm old. I'm making my way downtown.
I was digging for it. I could not find it.
Yeah, I put 2 on the bottom, so I was like, I'm like feeling pretty decent.
Yeah, you had this one. And
all right, gentlemen. Both of you guys were putting your opponent into some conundrums, and then the other person was figuring it out, and I thought that was really cool to see. But we'll start with you, Michael, first, coming in with a victory, getting it done, playing the Amber and Steel aggro. You were playing Sapphire and Emerald. We saw it last round from Quigley, but I want to hear from you. You got way more Baymaxes in your deck. You have maybe more Under the Sea. Can you talk about your strategy, what you're looking for, your altars, and how this match typically goes for you?
This match typically is I would say decent match, considering I do have to find Under the Sea though, or they can run away with it. And you know, the if I don't have it, and then I need that early shift target. So that combination is very important. You know, so that's one of the reasons I do have the Baymaxes in there. Is for a matchup like this. There was a time I was playing the 1-drop Basil, and that can shift on with the 5-drop and not the 7-drop. And I went away from that, and you know, focusing on getting. I need to get either the Clarabelles or get Baymax in this matchup and shift on Under the Sea. I was, you know, you have to find it or you're struggling. I mean, I've got Chaos in there, and I've got, you know, but that's really what I need to find is the Under the Sea. There are some other answers. You're welcomed at one point just to try to gain control. I hated giving him cards, but I didn't. I needed my character out, so I couldn't. You're welcome my own character to draw some more cards to try to find Under the Sea, because then I'm left without something. So I had to clear some of his board, and that was my only answer. And yeah, so it was a tricky match for sure.
Yeah, that play you were talking about with the double, you're welcome, and congratulations on the win, by the way. It was a really interesting play because you had the ability to just pay 3 and challenge into the Tiana if you wanted, and then use the you're welcome. But I'm assuming you didn't have the answers that you liked in your hand, and you wanted to fuel their hand a little bit. Pop off with your Clarabelle, dig deeper into your deck, and find those answers. Is that what you were going for there?
Exactly. Yeah. I knew even if I cleared his Tiana without doing it with your welcome, I still didn't have the cards I needed in my hand. Yeah, I didn't have the other. I needed to find that. So that was my that was my reasoning for doing that.
Absolutely, and that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have it, and sometimes you're not. Like we saw in that matchup, and we're going to bring Chris in here as well. We saw the Daisy Duck quest sending Under the Sea to the bottom of the deck, and then another one appeared anyway, and you got hit by 2 massive Under the Seas in that game number 1 and that game number 3, Chris. But I'm a bit disappointed. I didn't see you on the Patent Penny Amethyst Steel strategy. I would have bet everything that you're going to be playing it. You elected not to do it. And can you talk about your deck choice? What's with the Amber Steel, and what went wrong from your perspective, aside from what we just talked about?
Yeah, so I chose Amber Steel because I've just been playing it lately. I took it to Glass City and did pretty well with it over there. The meta is definitely shifting, and I think this deck is not in a great spot overall in like a big tournament. Like Purple Steel's picking up a lot, Dogs is picking up a lot, and this isn't great into either of those. But the strategy for today was hopefully Habibi wins in the first round, and then Joseph had the best deck to go on the draw with. And then if for some reason something happened there, I could potentially be on the play with a really fast deck. And I think this is one of the best decks if you're for sure going first. So we kind of just made it as a meta call to hopefully get that advantage if it went to a game 3. Things didn't play out that way, and I would have probably rather have been on Purple Steel, but yeah, it was a really tight match. It's usually really tight with this. I was fishing for a strength in game 3. If I had a strength at any point there, I could clear both Clarabelles and I just win the game. Couldn't find it. Then I was like, okay, he doesn't have Under the Sea because I sent one below, so I was fishing for Pete, because a Pete would end the game, and I couldn't find that. And then he didn't have Under the Sea, and the last turn when he pulled it, he's like, well, if it's Under the Sea or bust, and he got it.
Yeah, that's
crushed
crazy.
my soul. This matchup's like, it's just kind of like that. Like, if I don't hit the right pieces, I'm gonna get Under the Sea, and if he doesn't get Under the Sea, I'm probably gonna run over him. And yeah, it was a very, very tight match.
It was really nice to watch. We got Garrick here. Garrick's Lorcana player. He's an Amber Steel player. Garrick, I know you have some stuff to talk about the fire to cannon situation. Are you playing? You playing? How many copies of that are you playing? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm playing 3.
Okay.
You can pitch them with your Mulans if you don't need them. I also think there's a lot of matchups where taking out the early stuff kind of really helps, and like overall the curve on this deck is pretty low, so you can usually slot in that 1 damage. Like in this matchup, you can take out the Clarabelle or the Tipo, or like Bobby in a pinch to like stop them from being able to Under the Sea early, because they need the 2 characters down to be able to do it. Just an example of that. There's a lot of other little interactions where it's really good. Like even against Blurple, they need a 1-drop usually to like bounce with the elephant. You can take that out. In the mirror, it's really good. You can kill like a Hook and Amethyst Steel. So there's still a lot of spots where the cannons is really, really good. And you can end up just pitching it if you don't need it with either a Mulan, or even just discarding it when you dock is kind of fine as well.
Yeah, I love Fire the Cannons in this current meta. Like you said, it's just so good into everything. After you saw that it was Emerald Sapphire that you were going up against after game number 1, what was your alter strategy in games 2 and 3? Are you aggressively looking for the Fire the Cannons? You just want a Singer and a Strength of Raging Fire and make it happen? But what are you looking for?
I was looking for 1-drop, preferably Daisy, and it doesn't even have to quest early necessarily, depending on how the game plays out. And then a Troubadour actually 2, and then a Cannons as well, and a Strength. Because if you can take out all of the early stuff, then all of a sudden you just go like Lady Nala and like start questing, and they're desperately trying to play something out to catch up to you. And then at that point, you usually have the game. And then even if they somehow stabilize late, you're usually like 2 or 3 or 4 lore off, and you can kind of just get there drawing cards. But I was trying to find the Peats and the Strength, especially like fishing for them there in game 3. Those 2 are like pretty pivotal to kind of get that last little bit of lore to get over the finish line. But he's hiding.
Yeah, it was unfortunate not being able to find those Strength of Raging Fires in game number 3, but this is, I think, a really underrated matchup to watch. I think it's one of the more enjoyable ones to play as well, because it isn't as one-sided as people would think. There are ways for both decks to take control and come back in certain spots, and it was really well played by both of you. So thank you for showing how cool this matchup is.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's always Razor's Edge. Get a little excited.
Yeah.
So are we always going to have like our hands? I'll bring some hand puppets next time, and we'll make it really interactive.
I mean, sometimes people like switch the camera and they get their face in there. It's like this really cool thing. I'm sure we can.
Hold on, I don't think mine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to do mine too.
Look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm upside down.
My hands are okay. I'm not a hand model or anything. So go with this.
That's what I'm talking about. It looks much nicer that way. But as always, gentlemen, I love the fact that you guys are back. I mentioned this to your predecessor in the previous round, but having ETB, our returning champion, come back to the ICL to defend the crown, I think that is very important. Freedom Game, you guys had a wonderful season last year, and now you're on your way usurping the returning champion in week number 1. I think that's an incredible start for you guys. So as always, as tradition ICL, we like to give a special shout out time. So we'll start with you, Chris. You went down, but you're not out. Yeah. Long season left, baby. Let's see if you guys can turn it around. But we'll start with you. Any special shout outs that you want to give?
It is for sure. First of all, congrats to Freedom Gaming for knocking us off our horse. It's always fun playing against this team. I think we have like S tier banter between the 2 teams. It's like amazing. It goes all the way back to last season when the Leafs were playing the Panthers in the playoffs, and the Chirp Fest has continued, and it's a ton of fun playing against them. Shout out to everyone who makes ICL happen. Shout out to the judges behind the scene. Shout out to the casters. Shout out to Luke and Rod. And then I just want to give a shout out to my team and the store, enterthebattlefield.ca. Best game store in Canada, not biased at all. Our sponsors, Endgame TCG for our sleeves, and Twin Moon Studios for our playmat. Thanks for supporting us and letting us travel around and play this fun game that we all love. And yeah, I'll hand it over to the champs for the day. Go for it.
Take care, Chris. It was a pleasure, man. Great playing
with
you.
It was. You too.
Hey, so yeah, shout out to my team, Freedom Gaming. We've made some upgrades recently. Added Alex and Solo Falcon. Shout out
Oh,
to
nice.
John. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been great additions. You know, we had to upgrade. We had to get rid of some extra weight, and we
Hold up.
upgraded. So
I'm in a soundboard now. I can send some shots at your own family member there. I think I got a little targeted ad there. Yeah. Okay. Right on.
Yeah, there was just a couple issues, you know. He refused to change his name. We're like, hazed? What is that? What is hazed? Oh, I had it since I was 10 years old. I said, you're 34 years old. Get rid of the name. You know, get something new. It's not like you know, you're not, it's like a druggie or something like that. You don't do any drugs, you know, get rid of that hazed. He's like, no, I refuse to. All right, you're out of here. Yeah. And then he's like, Blurple, I only play Blurple. That's it. I'm not going to play any other cards. I'm just playing Blurple. Finally, it's doing well. So he's having a good time with it. It's all in jest. Oh, and then we had to pick, you know. So you were like, okay, this guy's not working out. We got to find somebody else. So how do we pick? So we went, all right, who's got the best beard? So in the local community, and so that's that's why we picked Alex. You know, and so he's got the second best beard compared to Wonderland. And then the name, you know, so you got to have a good name. So then that's why we did Solo Falcon. I mean, how awesome is that name? It's probably second best to Wonderland. You know, how many people can think to write the W with two V's? I mean, how creative is that? You know, so yeah, it's good.
So good.
Anyways, all right, I'll stop there.
No, I love it. You can go all night. This is awesome, man. But thank you so much for letting us know what happened. I thought he more of a left. Come to realize that Hayes got kicked off the team for not being good enough. I think that's huge. No, I'm joking. We're all joking. It's all love.
We are. Okay, good. I was gonna slam the headset down and say I don't want to talk about this. Throw the headset down and walk out.
When's the 30 for 30 happening? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, soon. It's the documentary's in the works. It's in the works.
Go.
Yeah.
All right. But gentlemen, man, again, it was an incredible night. I thought these matches were action packed from beginning to end. They all had a lot of intrigue and a lot of back and forth, except for the one. Okay, we're not going to talk about that one. But they're all great matches, and you guys really closed out the show in a great way. So, gentlemen, with that, we're going to let you guys go, so we can hop back into the booth and we'll start to close the show down. I can't wait to see you guys in more rounds of the ICL as the season goes on.
All right. See you guys later. Take care.
All right.
I'm back in the booth. I'm already in here. I speed blitzed this guy. I was over the finish. I was in here. I was on top of it, bro.
You cooked me, dude.
I cooked you.
Got fried. Oh my god.
You gotta get off the blocks a little quicker next time.
But I was closing it out. You were already moving before I even said go. That's unfair. We were still talking to the interview as Freedom Game is going to come through and get the dub. I think that's a great matchup. I picked ETB to get it done. I think
fun little rivalry. Yeah,
people are gonna be coming after the champs. I mean, being the champ is a tough task. Every week in and week out, everyone's gonna be ready for you at your very best. But Garrett, this is not a podcast. This is not any commentary. That was a great time hanging out with you, being here. So we're gonna toss it over to you. What do you got to say, man? Anything to close it out? Close it down. Your moment is in.
No, every single week here on the ICL, we're bringing you some of the best matches from across the globe. Literally, some of the best players around the world are doing battle, not just in the feature match, but behind the scenes as well. And there's still a match going on, so I might sneak in and watch a little bit more ICL action. But it's amazing. We're so happy to have all of these amazing teams. Such a great judge community. Shout out Rod. Shout out Wonderland. Shout out all the other casters, and of course all the players and teams for making the ICL what it is. But we're just getting started. It's going to be a long season for everybody, and there's a ton more Lorcana on the way.
For sure. This is great. I'm so glad the ICL is back and better than ever. And again, thank you all for being here. If you haven't followed, please make sure you hit the follow button. We'll be back at it again next week with more ICL action. If you have a Prime sub laying around, you're not using it, go ahead and toss it over into the bucket for the ICL so we can keep this activity rolling. This is all funded by viewers at home like you. So thank you. But until the next time, we got more activity happening. The Lorecast is going to be there tomorrow. I think I'm going to be in the Lorecast again tomorrow. So tune into that for some more card reveals and some things are happening there. So keep it locked. Don't touch that dial. My fellow Illumineers.
Wait a sec.
Yo,
Do
wait a
we
minute.
have the feature matches for next week? Can we let the people know? There you go.
Oh,
do we
let's
need
go.
to say that out loud, or did they hear you?
Oh, okay. One more time. Can you say it?
It's going to be Ink Knights versus Backseat Genius.
Let's
and
go.
then we have, I didn't hear the second one. Luxury versus Never Shift.
Oh,
So,
MVR Shift. That's a team I'm looking out for. I'm watching out for MVR Shift. I'm watching out for Team Luxury. That's going to be a great match. I think all the matches are going to be great, but it's going to be super exciting. So make sure you guys keep it locked. Don't touch
or that's
the dial.
2 weeks. That's in 2 weeks because we're taking a break next week because it's Milwaukee.
We're taking a break next week?
Is that right?
That can't be right.
Or am I off my rocker?
Are we taking? We're coming back on the 28th, so it's not next week. We are taking a break off next week.
Yep.
Next week, there's nothing. Okay.
Yeah,
so
everybody's going to be traveling, moving and
touch your dials.
grooving. Milwaukee is happening. So come back on the 28th. It's going to be Ink Knights versus Backseat Genius. And on the 29th, we've got Luxury versus NVR Shift. 2 banger matchups.
Absolutely. And everyone who just came in with the prime dogs at the end, your pal Corgi, Ghosty, TCG, and Pharaoh Vax with the hype train to end the stream. You guys are too legit to quit. Thank you for your support as the ICL is for you. So we'll be in Milwaukee. Don't touch that dial next week. But we're about to get out of here. Thank you guys for being here. I'm JDZ. I'm on a quest. ICL will return. Until then, peace. Wait a minute. Hold up. Now, soon. Almost. Maybe.
You know what will be around next week?
What's
this
that?
is not a podcast. Every
That'll be
Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Talk to him. All right, and we're out of here. Peace.
We did it.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we plug the next week matches every time. We should probably do that, right?